eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It is warm as of this midday Tuesday. A few isolated showers possible this afternoon. A slightly better chance tonight into tomorrow morning with the lows in the low 60s. Wednesday afternoon is dry with near record warmth, highs in the mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 628 points to 47,076.
Zips one over the middle. Intercepted by J.C. Horn. He's got it at the 25, across the 20. Bryce rolling to his right, throws, back of the end zone, juggled, and intercepted by the 49ers and Jair Brown. Purdy steps up, throws toward the end zone, intercepted again. Purdy the snap, play action. Deep drop in the pocket, launches over the middle, intercepted by Horn again. Takes the snap. Here's a 5-man rush. Bryce over the middle in traffic, and it's intercepted.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Getting closer to Thanksgiving. Gorging ourselves with food and delicious treats. But also, around right now, actually started yesterday, but today for sure, is when the sports scheduling world assumes that we've all completely checked out of work and have time to watch games starting at like noon on a Tuesday.
But we do.
Of course. I mean, I always have time to watch at noon on Tuesday. But this is where they assume everybody can. There's Maui Invitational going on, Jacksonville Classic going on. There's games all over the place. I think today there might even be an afternoon football game.
There might be. I think I saw there was like a Teddy's Chocolate ESPN Invitational basketball game.
It's a good time for true degenerate sports fans that are normally sitting around at Tuesday on a 2:30 going, what can I gamble on? I need something to get the juices flowing. Always gamble responsibly. It's The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Full day. And because of that, we shall not dilly-dally. Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
The Panthers lost to the Niners Monday Night Football 20-17. 9. Biggest game since 2017. You have the entire division, meaning if you win the game, you're outright leader in the NFC South. National television, Monday Night Football, all eyes on you. Credit to the defense. They showed up ready to play. Did a good job on the Niners. I was worried about it with the certain injuries and certain players on the Niners. But the offense just couldn't get it going. And there is a wide assortment of fingers being pointed at Bryce Young, at Dave Canales, at the play calling, at some drops, at certain offensive linemen. Definitely not all, but certain offensive linemen. Jatavian Sanders I've seen in the crosshairs a few times online. There are quite a few things that went wrong for the offense. The thing that went wrong for the offense, from where I'm sitting here, my vantage point, is the Panthers forgot who they were. They worked so hard. We've been asking for so long for them to find an identity. It seemed like they had one, and they forgot in 2 weeks. One good passing game and one Monday Night Football game where you start dreaming about becoming a star, and they forgot who they are, which is running the football and defense. Running the football and defense. And that's why I said yesterday, the passing game and what they did against the Falcons was good, but it was very much because plan A wasn't working, they went to plan B and had one. Last night, plan A was working. Rico Dowdle averaged like 6 yards a carry. Plan A was working. Yet they couldn't help themselves but just get a little cute too often, while also simultaneously not trusting Bryce Young. It was like, we want to throw the ball, but we don't trust Bryce after the interception. So it became like throwing the ball, kind of. A lot of horizontal passes, a lot of weird screens and rollouts and things, rather than actually testing a defense downfield. And when, the irony is, I was arguing, or I was debating and evaluating every single pass play call. I don't like that horizontal pass. I don't like that route. I don't like that route combination. When in actuality, it should have been running the football. It was a prime moment because the defense kept bailing you out to recommit and recommit and recommit to Rico Dowdle, and they never did. Forgot who they are. They got on stage and said, I'm going to sing a solo. And it was, no, you are a choir. Work on harmonies. We'll come back to that at 3:15, and we will have later in the show a feedback frenzy. So if you have some opinions, go ahead and jump in some of our YouTube comments and the like, and we'll get to the best of those later in the show. But for right now, we have to move on because we have some Rod Brindamore audio that's going to impress all of you with number 2.
Number 2.
Impress might not be the right word there. Intrigue might have been the better word. The Canes had practice today. Just some updates on the who's and the whats. Jacob Slavin and Jesperi Kokaniemi skated by themselves prior to practice. And for more medical updates on players such as Slavin and Kokaniemi, here's Rod Brindamore.
Jordo's still not feeling great. He had, flu or whatever. And I'm hopeful that he'll be ready to go tomorrow. Cooch, I don't expect to play tomorrow.
Is that an injury or an illness?
I don't really know what to call it. It just doesn't feel right. It's got a little. It's not illness, so it's definitely an injury. But it's kind of what he, I think, dealt with before, and it just doesn't feel right. And goalies are kind of interesting. If it doesn't feel quite right, it's hard to go in there.
Also, Keandre Miller dealing with a little something. They got banged up against Buffalo, and also didn't really have an update on Slavin and Kokaniemi other than, I can't really tell you anything until they actually practice with us.
And Miller, they are hopeful, similar to Jordan Stahl, that he's able to play tomorrow, but like you said, tweak something, whatever you want to call it. Vaguely injure reference about Keandre Miller. But that's not the part that I found most interesting. The part that I found most interesting, and it's because so much of the debate yesterday and the fan reaction to the last few games had to do with Alexander Nikishin not drawing into the lineup last Friday when they got the win against Winnipeg. He was the healthy extra defenseman with Chatfield's return. Here's Rod Brindamore on the reason why he sat Nikishin.
Sometimes you need to sit back and watch from up top is good. Just reminder that it's not always going to be automatic that you play, and you got to earn your ice time. And I think we need to make sure we do that right with this player. You know, he's going to be a really good player in this league, but there's a big learning curve still. And I think you got to make sure we do it right with him, because you don't want to be having these. In 4 years from now, be talking about these same issues because you didn't address them. So it's just little details, and we know he's got offensive ability. That's crazy. That's we don't have to talk about that. It's just the other stuff of the game, which is the hardest part about playing defense in this league.
So that gives us some real details, right? It doesn't appear as if he were sick. Doesn't appear as if he were dealing with an injury. It was kind of did not play coach's decision with a message of some kind being sent. And I know that's going to upset the fans even more in a lot of ways. But here's my reaction to that. You have to trust Rod. And in any coach situation, you have to trust that a coach knows his players well enough to know how to motivate and what buttons to push on each of their motivations and what they can handle and who's going to be mad and who's going to be sad and who's going to go in the tank and who's going to bow their neck and say, never again. You have to trust your coach. Because the moment that sort of thing, those kind of coaching decisions are questioned or overruled or whatever, you just cut the coach's legs out from under him.
Let's not forget, Jarvis had a bunch of games as a rookie too.
You just have to know. And by the way, I don't think that's the right move for every player, right? I think there might be other ways to motivate other players. You just have to trust Rod Brindamore and that coaching staff and that front office that they understand the best ways to get the most out of Alexander Nikishin, because what Rod said there is true. Like, the ceiling is so unbelievably high on Alexander Nikishin. You want to make sure you get as close to it as possible, right? You want to make sure you do everything you can to get the best out of him, and if that means sitting him down for a game, you sit him down for a game. Got to put a little bit of trust there. Be okay with it. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
We have college basketball going on around the country right now, and NC State is once again upset alert. Number 23 in the country, NC State, although they won't be next time they update the AP, because they lost yesterday to unranked Seton Hall in the Maui Invitational. At the moment, they trail by 3 late in the first half to Boise State in that very same Maui Invitational.
Yeah, 25-22. They were up 20-10, so it's a 15-2 run right now. By Boise State.
I don't know if it's still going on. At one point, because I'm just looking at the graphic on TV that they put up, they had gone 6 minutes and 11 seconds without scoring, and in that time had 3 turnovers. So streaky might be a way to describe them, but the streaks are going against them as of late. You lose to Seton Hall, Maui, early game out there, time difference, kind of weird. All right. You lose to Seton Hall, followed up the next day with a loss to Boise State. Maybe the questions get a little bit more aggressive, right? Maybe the changes happen a little bit more swiftly. And here's the thing coming from what we know about Will Wade. Will Wade is how would I describe it? A businessman. Like, he is ruthless. He is results-based. I would not think he's going to be like, well, we're going to play the same starting 5 for, until we lose 6 games. I think it's going to be the moment he thinks something needs to change, it will change. And that is what you sign up for when you sign up for a coach who is not saying this is a building season. This is a, first year. We're looking to lay the foundation. No, he showed up saying we're going to win. We're going to win now. We're going to win big. Going to be in the NCAA tournament. Going to do all these things. Going to be in the top 4 of the ACC. Well, to do all of that, you really can't wait around. So, buckle up if this game stays the way it is. Obviously, they're down 4 right now with less than 6 minutes to go in the first half, but, that means there's over 5 minutes to play in the first half and the entire second half. They could still win this by double digits and render this whole conversation completely pointless. But it's still not a great way to start their Maui Invitational, where they were the betting favorites to win the whole darn thing.
Well, they just hit a 3, so now it's only a 1-point game.
All right, so maybe everything is different. Also, there's college basketball going on, like I said, all over the country, which is fun for the midday stuff. But locally, North Carolina will be hosting St. Bonaventure. Actually, no, it's in the Fort Myers tip-off, so
yeah,
hosting-ish, right? They're I think they are the home team, but it's down there in Fort Myers. They'll be playing St. Bonaventure, which St. Bonaventure obviously has a pretty good basketball history, but many of you will know it's where Woj is, right? Adrian Wojnarowski, the old ESPN NBA insider, Woj bombs when he broke the big news. He's now the GM of St. Bonaventure and trying to do some things there. Iowa State, just as far as another top 25 team playing right now, is leading by 8 over Creighton in the Players Era Festival, which I believe is where they're getting paid NIL money to play in it and all that stuff. So Iowa State with the lead over Creighton. We'll keep you updated on the state game, especially throughout throughout the show, and we'll see how it ends up playing out. Again, still in the first half in that one. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Panthers, they lost last night. Monday Night Football. The Rams are coming up next. All that optimism from 24 hours ago feels like it was a long time ago, not 24 hours ago. What happened to the Carolina Panthers? I'll tell you next.
It's Bo time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you could say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been with the program for nearly 4 months and have lost 42 pounds thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Right now, Raleigh Weight Loss Center is having a special 20% off Lose It special going on right now all the way through Black Friday, November 28th, with the lowest prices of the year on the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program. They know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. Start losing those unwanted pounds either before, during, or after the holidays. No more losing weight and gaining it back. This program resets your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Schedule your free 15-minute phone consultation today to see if the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program is right for you, and mention the promo code LOSEIT for a discount. Call 919-897-7506, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Mention the promo Lose It. Results may vary.
Play fake. Bryce rolling to his right. Throws. Back of the end zone. Juggled and intercepted by the 49ers and Jair Brown.
As that play was developing, it was a hard play action. Bryce rolls to his right. There's a million Niners jerseys in the back of the end zone there. I'm thinking to myself, don't throw it. He threw it, Luke.
Oh, no! We suck again!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Little Rob Schneider drop there coming out of break. Panthers are 6-6. I would normally start the show or start this segment with a little big picture optimism, right? Who wouldn't have signed up to be 6-6 through 6 games or through 12 games, with the Carolina Panthers? But yesterday we changed all that, and I think rightfully so, right? I think the goal was to be something like 6-6. The goal was to be in the mix for the division. The goal was to play meaningful football late into the season. Check, accomplished, good job. Now, as of yesterday, right, when the Bucs lost and the division became up for grabs, it became loftier goals, right? You moved on to the next checkpoint. Not off to a hot start going for the next checkpoint. 20-9 loss to San Fran on Monday Night Football. And the worst part about it isn't that you lost to San Fran. It's not. right? There's no moral victories, but there's ways you lose that game, and you come in today maybe optimistic. But the reason why it was such a bummer is because San Fran tried to give it to you. And your difference makers, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, made a difference. And you have to take advantage of that. If J.C. Horn gets you 2 free possessions with some pretty unbelievable defensive plays, you have to win that game. Right? You have to win that game. If Bryce Young throws an absolutely unacceptable interception and the refs aid in another interception later on out of your control, whatever you want to call it, and you still win the turnover battle, you have to win that game. So the question becomes, how didn't they? How did they not? Well, I'll tell you right now, the early interception by Bryce, to me, changed everything. Not only taking away the 7 points or the 3 minimum that you should have when you get the ball down that low, especially into the low red zone, especially after a turnover, all of that. But to me, it put everybody on edge. Everybody clammed up a little. Right? I think Dave Canales wanted to run the offense similar to how they did last week against Atlanta, which I don't think was the right move. I think they should have tried to run it like they did against Dallas or Green Bay through Rico Dowdle, but it seemed like he wanted to run it like Atlanta. But the issue was he didn't trust Bryce to go downfield because he made the big mistake early. So you were penned in to the parts of the passing game that didn't scare you. And guess what? If they don't scare you, they darn sure ain't scaring the other team. Dave Canales sums up the loss to San Francisco after the game. Big picture stuff.
Just a game of missed opportunities. Our defense was putting us in some great situations, with the interceptions and not coming away with points. Having an interception on one of those things really hurt us. Some basic things, a couple of penalties put us in long drives, a drop on third down. Really just comes down to fundamental execution and things that, I felt like we're moving in the right direction, but we didn't take that step today that I was looking for, collectively as a group. And the defense battled and they, kept us in it, gave us some opportunities there, and then we turned it over again at the end with an opportunity to make the game close there at the end.
Yeah, I like that he made sure to double back on the defense there at the end, because when he said it's a game of missed opportunities, my internal monologue was going, J.C. Horn didn't miss opportunities. Mike Jackson didn't miss opportunities. They made opportunities. Those 2, 3, 4, whoever, all the backup linebackers that had to play in that game, they didn't miss an opportunity. They played well for deep depth chart guys up against an offense that has some dudes that they had to match up with. There weren't all missed opportunities.
Guys getting hurt during the game.
That's what I mean. They started with maybe linebackers 3 and 4, ended with maybe 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. Like they were deep in their depth. The offense missed the opportunities. The offense missed the opportunities. The play caller, the quarterback, the receivers missed the opportunities. Now, the lack of a run game is going to be frustrating. You see the numbers, it's going to be even more frustrating. Dave Canales on the lack of a run game after the game.
I just felt like building off of, what happened last week and just taking a step forward with the pass game. I saw some opportunities. We were protecting pretty well as far as pass protection goes, and just felt like we just didn't come away with our opportunities consistently enough early on. And then in the second half, at a certain point when the score becomes what it is, it's like, okay, we're in a 2-score game. We got to move it a little bit here and throw the ball around, and, had some measure of success that way. But and the run game seemed to be hitting pretty good, but I was trying to take advantage of it. They were playing some loaded boxes that did a good job with their disguise in some of those areas too.
The running game was hitting. And in the third quarter, minutes in, it wasn't like it was right away. Over halfway through, I believe it became the 3-17 game rather than the 3-10 game. There was so much time, so many drives for you to double and triple down on the run game, and you chose not to. And it's almost like they skipped a step, right? And what I mean by they skipped a step, from a play calling standpoint, establish the run. There's a reason why that's like a cliche. right? Establish the run, and then you can build your offense off of it. It's almost like they just assumed that the run would be treated as if it were established because Rico 2 months ago ran for 200 yards, and they just started with, like, in crucial situations, play action and things. But in actuality, the run game probably would have picked up those crucial situations, or at least I believe they have a much better chance than what you ended up doing.
Agreed.
And then once you pick up those crucial situations in the run game a few times, that's when you can come with your favorite play action. That's when you can come with your favorite tricky little pass play, because they're already thinking, can't give up the run again, can't give up the run again. You never made them think that. Now, here's where I'm going to contradict myself just a hair.
Okay.
It is really tough to get mad at an offensive coordinator, a play caller, for not showing confidence in the quarterback, and then get mad at them for giving them the opportunity to make what was a relatively simple play down on the goal line, right? First down and 1, right? Whatever it was, 2. First down on the goal line, you call play action. From a quarterback's perspective, if it's not wide open, throw it away, right? If it's, and if you are going to make the throw that he did that was intercepted, there's a rule about the back of the end line. When you're throwing to somebody on the back part of the end zone, that back sideline or back out of bounds line, high.
Yep.
Because your guy's going to be able to jump and get it, and if he doesn't, it just sails 2 rows into the stands and you're fine. Think Dwight Clark from Joe Montana, the catch. Like, that's where you put a ball. You don't put it short, because guess where all the defensive players are?
Right there.
They're short. Right, and short, closer to you, inbounds, if you will.
Underneath.
Yeah, high is where that's a rule, right? And the front of the end zone, you throw it low. Why? Because you want to, guys are on your back. You want to use your body to protect it. Back of the end zone, you throw it high. These are not places where you need to worry about yak, right? Possession, play over. You catch it, touchdown. So you don't have to put it, in a place where they can catch and run, or in a place where they can catch and protect. It's a place where if they catch it, it's a touchdown. So you put it high, make it a tougher catch for them. You can't leave it short. And, as everyone said online to me a million times, probably could have ran for the touchdown.
There's a shot. Looked like it.
So in that case, it rarely happens. Everyone always jokes that with a pass play, there's 2 bad things that can happen, incomplete or interception. Only 1 good thing can happen, completion. In that play, I truly believe, based on Bryce's decision, there were like 4 decent outcomes. Some were great. Some were okay, right? You throw it away. You throw that thing 10 rows in the stands. All right, now Rico gets to try to run it in on the next play. You put it high. Maybe your guy makes a catch. Maybe it bounces off his fingertips and goes out of bounds. All right, now you got your next best play on the goal line. You try to run for it. You might score. Also, you get tackled. Okay, now we get to try our next best. The only thing he couldn't do is what he did. So it's like, gosh, did he get cute with the play calling? I've been screaming at him to trust Bryce all season. Don't play Bryce if you don't trust him to make that call, if you don't trust him to make that play. It's a very, I would assume most JV football coaches would trust their quarterback to get out of that play without catastrophe. Now, they might call him over to the sideline and say, hey, listen, if it's not wide open, throw it away. Like, you might give them that extra, but you could do that to Bryce too. If you don't trust Bryce to execute that play call, at least to the point of 0 emissions, a throwaway or a tuck it and take the sack or something, you can't play him. So that's where I struggle, because I don't like the play call. But I also acknowledge it's not a high-risk play call in and of itself. You gave him a lot of exit ramps. So that's what I'm talking about when I say there's like blame pie going to everybody. Don't love the play call, would have liked to see him establish the run. Hate the execution of a play call that shouldn't have been catastrophic. And I get what Canales was thinking. Get him an early touchdown pass. Get the confidence flowing, right? Make him look good. Oh, now we're tied, and it's because he threw for it, even though it would actually have been because, a defensive turnover put you down on the goal line. Like, you can steal some momentum for your quarterback as long as he doesn't do that.
Well, like you heard Dave Canales say, he wanted to build on the momentum of last week.
Yep.
Which was what? 448 yards.
But also, and let me bring up the exact totals here because I don't want to misrepresent. Mm-hmm. If I remember last week, even though the running game was not through the roof, Rico Dowdle finished with 19 carries.
Yeah.
They were 19 ineffective carries, but they were necessary, right? You have to just keep making it a point.
That's what San Francisco did all night with McCaffrey. He ran it 24 times for 89 yards.
All night, all season.
Yeah.
Like last night was not an unusually ineffective game on the ground for Christian McCaffrey. He's like a 3.5 yards per carry guy all year, and he's way out touching everyone in the league. Because guess what? Kyle Shanahan is what you hope one day Dave Canales can evolve into as a play caller. It's like, wow, look at this. Kittle's really good catching passes, play action. It's like because they gave it to Christian McCaffrey 1,000 times and the defense thought it was going to happen. Very frustrating game. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up next where we get to pass around some extra praise. That'll hopefully put us in a better mood. Stick around.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
The McRib season gets even more magical when you pair it with any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.49. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Price and participation may vary.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, I'm Steffi. You may know me from your social feed. I go big for the holidays, so I'm going to Famous Footwear because the best gifts are giving famous. My friends and family are gonna love all these styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, New Balance, Skechers, and more. With over 800 stores, you're never far from the perfect gift. So make your list and make it famous. Come in today for buy one pair, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition product.
We know you're hot to see a Carolina Hurricanes game in person. Visit 999thefan.com or fire up the Fan app and enter to win a pair of tickets and parking for the Canes Columbus game on December 9th. Check out our Hurricanes hot ticket giveaway at 999thefan.com.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com.
4th and 6 from the 12. Gets the snap off with 2 seconds to spare. Rifles, end zone. Justin Jolie leaps up. It is a touchdown on 4th and 6, a 12-yarder. Pack's going to win the game. 20-11 with 1:47 to play.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump into the Dean's List, and during the Dean's List, I will update you on the NC State men's basketball score out in Maui, game going on this afternoon. But first, I mean, it's not breaking news, but it's of interest news to North Carolina Tar Heels football fans out there. One of your guys might be coming back. The Chargers have designated running back Omarion Hampton to return from injured reserve.
Yeah, I just saw that.
He's been out for a while, dealing with I think it was an ankle injury. But obviously before he was missed that time and was put on IR, and then there was a bye for the Chargers. He was their main guy in the backfield. Kamani Vidal has done well in his stead, but I would assume Hampton will move right back in there. The bad news, if you're rooting for Omarion, is while he was gone, Joe Alt got hurt again. So I want to say he was playing, Alt got hurt, running game tanked. He got hurt, Alt came back, Alt got hurt before he came back, and then so, not great for Omarion, but hopefully he can play. Chargers definitely need him. With that being said, let's jump into the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we pass around a little extra praise to those in the college sports world that deserve it. We'll start with NC State men's basketball. After I gave a nice little soliloquy about how they lost to Seton Hall yesterday and they were losing to we just got some more breaking news. They were losing to Boise State today. They went on a run to close the first half. They lead 34-28 at halftime. Yep, there you go. Fire that up.
I don't know what this is, but okay.
Adam Schefter with the report. The NFL is suspending Panthers safety Trevon Merrick 1 game for striking 49ers wide receiver Juwan Jennings in the groin area on Monday night.
Not shocked.
I'm not shocked either. I wonder if there's going to be any punishment going towards Juwan Jennings as well, because Juwan Jennings did go up after the game and smack around Merrick a bit.
Yeah.
And it was after the game, so it's not like he was ejected or anything. Do you know what's actually happening in the NFL a decent amount?
What's that?
There's like a punch thrown, right? And everybody gets up in the air about that player throwing the punch. And then in the postgame, they explain why. And everybody goes and watches the tape and goes, oh, yeah, you're right. You know what? You probably should have. Because remember, Jalen Ramsey got ejected for throwing a punch at Jamar Chase after the game. He said he spit on me. Everybody went and watched the film. Turns out Jamar Chase spit on him. And I think it was Mike Tomlin had the best reaction, the coach of the Steelers. They were like, do you have any message for Jalen Ramsey? He said, I have no message for him. If somebody spits on you, do whatever comes natural, which is like, all right. And then Jamar Chase got suspended. And it's crazy how cynical I've become in these cases, because so often a player does something, like throw a punch or late hit or something, and then they make an excuse for why they did it. So-and-so did something dirty, and I'm always like, all right, stop trying to cover your tracks. But with cameras everywhere, it turns out they've both been right. We cover the Panthers. We talk about the Panthers. We professionally root for the Panthers, all those things. Trevon Merrick threw a cheap shot. He threw a punch right in the nether regions at Juwan Jennings, and who knows what their relationship was like before it, right? Jennings hypothesized that it's because, he's a bigger, willing, blocking wide receiver, and he always goes right up to the whistle, and some defensive backs don't like that. But yeah, Trevon Merrick, the 1-game suspension, probably earned. Do you know what's not great about the 1-game suspension?
You got all those injuries on the secondary.
And you're playing Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams this week.
Yeah.
And we haven't been updated, at least I haven't seen anything yet on J.C. Horn or some of these other guys that may or may not be available even for practice. We'll see.
Yeah, Canales doesn't talk to the media until about 4 o'clock, so we won't hear anything.
But Trevon Merrick's been good this year. A bright spot for the team.
Yeah.
And now he is suspended. Pending appeal, right? I assume he can appeal if he wants, but he was kind of caught with his hand in the cookie jar. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big debate on whether he did it or not. The evidence is right there on film.
I'm okay with him being suspended. Like, you can't.
That's what I mean. It's
you can't do that. Like, you can't spit in someone's face. You shouldn't punch another dude right in the U-nose. Like, come on, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's one of those deals where, like, because he's your guy, you defend him, and then you see the camera, you see the film. You know what? Never mind, sir. Good call. All right, we're going back here. It happens occasionally, but it is still a blow to the Panthers defense. Merrick is pretty important, and now, gosh, they're gonna have to go real deep, especially if some of the other injuries come back, as that player is not available this week. So if you're just tuning in, Adam Schefter reporting, ESPN NFL Insider. Merrick, the safety for the Panthers, has been suspended for a game based on a punch towards Juwan Jennings, bait and tackle right at the end of the end of the game there, which led to a skirmish in the post game. But Merrick suspended.
And I can't complain about the suspension. I can't. Which, here's the thing. It's a selfish move by him, and now it put your team that's already dealing with injuries, now it puts it behind even further. Short week at home against the best team in the NFL, you could argue, in the Rams. Now you might be without J.C. Horn. You might be without also the backup corner and Corey Thornton. Now you're already down with 2 linebackers. Another one got hurt.
And I mean,
like,
there's also even if you're breaking the rules, there's a bit of honor in the Wild Wild West.
For real.
You don't punch in that part.
No, you don't.
There's a bit of honor in the Wild Wild West. If you're going to do a duel, make sure you're not shooting them in the back. You know what I mean? You got to see them. You got to be eye to eye. There's some stuff going on there. It's a cheap shot. Let's be real. Let's call it what it is. It's dirty pool. It's a cheap shot, and because of that, he's going to be suspended. Right? A punch to the chest or something. It's still selfish and it's still dumb and you still shouldn't do it. But there's a bit more honor there.
So he got detention?
He got detention. All right, let's get back to the Dean's List. NC State basketball ahead at half. That's what I was saying after being down at parts in the first half to Boise State. They wrestled a decent lead. I think it's a 6-point lead, something like that, at half. 34-28 the score. So a little streaky from NC State in that one. We do have some automatic Dean's Listers we have to put on here. Jonathan Brewer, Duke's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Kurt Roper, NC State's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. And Scotty Hazelton, Wake Forest's defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. They are, all 3 of them, 3 of the 63 finalists for the Broyles Award given to the top assistant in college football. 63 seems like a lot, but still, it's an honor just to be included. All 3 of them on that list for the work they've done for their respective programs, which, C.J. Bailey for Kurt Roper, obviously, Darian Mensah for Jonathan Brewer, and the entirety of the Wake Forest defense and what they've done at times this year. Definitely worthy of praise for the architects of their play. So they're all, finalists for the Broyles Award, which is pretty cool. I don't know what it is. Maybe I like the fact that Delaware has jumped up to the FBS ranks because now they're just playing local teams all the time. I believe they beat UNC Greensboro in the Jacksonville Classic this afternoon. Delaware getting the dub. Let me refresh this to make sure I'm not talking. Yeah, 73-60. Couple of one-win teams battling it out in the Jacksonville Classic. Delaware got the better of UNCG. Want to give a shout out there and take that, Greensboro. You know what? I have some others, but they can stay in my pocket. Maybe we'll get to a few of them later in the show in different ways. Anybody that you urgently have to put on the Dean's List, Dennis?
Nope.
All right, perfect. In that case, we have to urgently get to the podium coming up next, right after this, right here on The Drive. But first, before we do any of that, we'll do this with urgency. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. And here's the urgency. Holidays are sneaking up on you. You need to get those gifts squared away. And Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, the Bailey's Fine Jewelry staff, everybody involved, want to help you work out with that holiday season. I'm going to give you an example. And shout out to Lisa at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. My wife was over there doing some shopping yesterday. And for those of you that don't know, my wife is 5 feet tall. And she's not always shopping for somebody who is 5 feet tall. Sometimes she's shopping for somebody taller, shorter, whatever, kid, adult, man, woman, right? She's out there buying holiday gifts. And I thought this was a cool part of the story, right? She's there. She's looking at the watches. She's looking at some jewelry. She's doing all this stuff. And Lisa, as one of the experts there at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, was actually helping her find other workers who might have wrist size similar to the people she was shopping for, so she could put the product, the piece of jewelry, the watch, whatever it is, on their wrist, and she can get a look for it, right? Because, as I've learned in my timepiece journey, there's a big difference between a 39 millimeter watch face, a dial size, case size, and a 42 or a 44 millimeter case size. And if you have small hand, small wrists, and you're buying for somebody big hand, big wrist, you might put it on your wrist and go, goodness, this is a saucer. This is a plate. But on theirs, it might look differently. So they were actually working to help her out with that, which I thought was really, really cool. And it's just another way they go above and beyond. So if you are looking for a Blancpain, a Norcane, a pre-owned or vintage Rolex, an Omega, or any of the jewelry, amongst many other watch brands, that they have in their showcase, talk to them. Let them help you out. They've been in the business. They're experts, and they know the big snafus, right? If something's not going to work out as a gift, they've probably heard the reason before and can try to get ahead of it. It's all at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop and Bailey's Fine Jewelry at Bailey's Village District location in Raleigh. When you stop by, let them know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. We have the Podium, like I said, with urgency. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf, is Black Friday dealing this week with an additional 15% off all pre-owned clubs. Golf bags starting at $100, apparel starting at $15, golf shoe deals starting at $50, and great savings on GPS watches and rangefinders. Get these special deals and more only at the Global Golf Outlet Store located on 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
Are you ready for your retirement you've always dreamed of? I'm Amanda Mangum from Aspire Money Management. With the right financial strategies, you can enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Whether it's budgeting for healthcare, maximizing your Social Security benefits, or understanding your pension options, we're here to help you navigate the path ahead. Don't leave your retirement to chance. Visit AspireMoneyManagement.net for your free consultation. That's AspireMoneyManagement.net. Take the first step towards a fulfilling retirement today.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. This Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, then pass it to your friends so they can add theirs. When everyone's done, you each lock in the group parlay with your own funds. Because football's better when it's bet and played together. And to make it even better, everyone gets a 50% profit boost to use on their build. For me, I'm thinking Dallas's George Pickens for an anytime touchdown. Grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul and get started. FanDuel.com/Paul. FanDuel, play your game. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Good snap, good hold. It's a fake. Polito to the left, 25-20, down the sideline, into the end zone. Oh, they say out of bounds at the 1, and it'll be first and goal. My goodness, what a call. How about that in a robbery game on the road?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So we do something here on The Drive. We call it the Podium. The Podium is quite simple. We look at the football and men's basketball week that was. It's just a one-week award, so this is everything that has taken place since our last Podium segment last Tuesday about this time. And we rank the 4 teams from the state of North Carolina in the ACC, how they've done over the last week in those 2 sports. And it's been, I would say, we've been doing this for a couple years now. It's been much less predictable this year, right? It does seem like in years past there's been, some teams that have kind of grabbed hold of gold or silver and they don't drop behind it very much. And the teams off the podium probably are off the podium a bunch. This year there's been some good movement, so we'll see if there's any movement this week. As always, we start with off the podium. The Tar Heels. The last week, not the best for the Tar Heels. Now, there's a little less action, right? They didn't have 2 basketball games like many do in a week at this point. But football lost to Duke. And they lost in a tough way in that they kind of got out-disciplined, right? The penalties, the assignment football on special teams, like those things came back to beat them, which is kind of more frustrating because passing game wasn't horrendously awful. Jordan Shipp did some things. Gio Lopez, like I said, I think he threw for like 208 yards, something along those lines, which may not sound like much, but improvement. And they still lost to Duke 32-25. Defense played well in some ways, but the loss is what the loss is, and it also ended their quest for the 6-win bowl eligibility plateau. Their men's basketball team did beat Navy in their only action of the week, 73-61. But this isn't me talking. This is the players talking. They had a big old players-only meeting right after that one because they didn't like the way they finished. So, you lost in football. The one basketball game that you did win was players-only meeting worthy, which isn't means you didn't play your best. So they're going to be off the podium for this week. They do have the possibilities. They got a good little stretch here, basketball games and obviously football against NC State over the weekend. So they'll have a bounce-back opportunity, but this week they're off the podium. Bronze. Speaking of, NC State's off the podium, or bronze. They are just on the podium, even with a big football win, right? This is where the season overlap where we're talking basketball and football adds into it, right? They did beat Florida State 21-11, which good win, right? And got them bowl eligible, and they're still alive for an 8-win season. If they take care of business against Carolina this week and then win a bowl game, they're still alive for an 8-win season, which would dramatically change the way I think people look at this season for State. So the win over Florida State was a big one, but they did lose to Seton Hall in basketball. This was yesterday afternoon, 85-74. Seton Hall was unranked. It's the first. Going into the game, this is just a crazy stat. I've said it a bunch of times, but it doesn't get any less crazy. Going into that game, State was ranked 3rd in the AP poll, and top 25 teams in the AP were 96-0 against unranked teams. And they lost to Seton Hall, the first ranked opponent or ranked team to lose to an unranked opponent. And now they're in a dogfight with Boise. 35-33, just less than 2 minutes into the second half after they had a 6-point lead at halftime. So, I guess technically some of that came before the podium this week. So, their basketball team, kind of the anchor that held them back from a silver or gold, they're in bronze. Silver, Wake Forest. And trust me, I wanted to put them gold because they got a win over my Delaware Blue Hens, and I wanted to hype up how big of a win that was, but it was a 52-14 win. So, that's more. I think that's a lot on us. We let some of that stuff happen, but they took advantage of it. Like I said, number 8, the receiver, was pretty unreal. Defense made it very difficult for my Blue Hens. But the reason they're not gold is their men's basketball team lost to Texas Tech. That was within this week.
1-point loss.
It was a 1-point loss against the number 15 team in the country. You may think I'm being kind of hard on them, but I think they should have won the game. For majority of the game, they were, or at least majority of the kind of latter parts, they were in control, and they missed free throws. Right? I think they made 58 or 59% of their free throws. And if you lose a game on free throws, I'm gonna hold that again. I don't care if you lose to the Monstars. I don't care if you lose to an all-star team. If you lose because of free throws, that's gonna hurt. 84-83 was the loss. They did bounce back to beat Memphis. All of this was in the Bahamas, by the way, down there at one of those Bahamanian tournaments. But they did bounce back to beat Memphis on a buzzer beater from Miles Colvin, 69-68, which was good. So they're silver, right? I don't know if you're happy with silver, but it could be worse. Wake Forest in there at silver. And then gold goes to Duke. They did beat UNC, so you get the rivalry football win, 32-25. They were undefeated on the basketball court, not as if they played a murderer's row lineup. 142 win over Niagara, 93-56 win over Howard. But you're undefeated for the week. You got the big football win. You've set yourself up for a game against Wake that could once again do big things, I guess, for you. Duke is technically still alive for the ACC championship.
I need to look up the scenario.
I have it right here.
Oh, you have it?
Just bring it up.
Love
Hold on.
to hear it.
I just have to. I have to scroll a little bit here, but I definitely have it. Here it is. Do you want to hear them all, just for funsies?
Yeah, kind of do.
Okay. UVA and SMU control their destiny. Right? They win out. They win. Virginia can also get in if SMU and Pitt lose.
Okay.
SMU also gets in with just a Pitt loss. Miami needs a win plus 2 out of UVA, SMU, and Duke to lose. If Pitt wants to get in, they need a win plus a loss by SMU or Duke. Duke, to get in, needs a win plus losses of at least two of these three teams. So two of these three teams need to lose. Pitt, SMU, and UVA.
Okay.
Georgia
Pitt plays Miami, by the way.
Yes. Georgia Tech would need a win. This is where it gets crazy. You ready? They would need a win, a Pitt win, a UVA loss, a Duke loss, and a SMU loss, or they would get in if Georgia Tech wins, Miami wins, SMU loses, Duke loses, and they end up with the tiebreaker over Miami/SMU. Or if Miami, they need to win, Georgia Tech wins, Miami wins, SMU loses, UVA loses, and they end up with the tiebreaker over UVA, Miami, and SMU. So technically,
got it.
UVA, SMU, Miami, Pitt, Duke, and Georgia Tech are all still alive in the ACC championship. But that wouldn't have happened if Duke didn't beat UNC, so they get a little extra nudge for keeping the dream alive, which I don't know if it's really, but based on that scenario, there it is. By the way, hat tip to David Hale, covers the ACC for ESPN for, I assume, playing out a million simulations to come up with those scenarios. And also, I want to give Duke a little credit. The Brotherhood run was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should try to do it maybe with more like UCF, Johnny Dawkins, maybe wherever Chris Collins is coaching. Like, if you could do it and make the games a bit more entertaining, I think that would be a really cool thing to do. They brought in former Duke players that are now coaches, but at Niagara and Howard, the games were just, it's 100-42. Like, I get it was cool to have Greg Polish, John Shire, and Coach K out there, like, holding a commemorative basketball before the game. But then you played the game, and it was darn near a 60-point blowout. If you could do that with teams that were just, making it interesting for a little bit, I think it could be a really cool event. And then Niagara and Howard actually played each other on Saturday between the two of them in Cameron Indoor. So you could even expand it, right? Do like a week long and have them all there, where you get some interesting ones with maybe some of the better teams that are coached by former Duke guys, and you also give the boost to the Niagaras and the Howards of the world. I don't know. I'm just saying, for how cool of an idea it was, I didn't catch myself wanting to watch the games, which is not the ideal. 93-56 was the close one for Duke. Either way, that is not the Dean's List. That is the Podium. Dennis, anything you'd agree or disagree with?
No disagreements, but I have a gold star.
Then perfect. That's my
I have
next
a gold
question.
star to give out. This was a tough one. Because, again, we're factoring basketball into this.
Correct.
So,
this is a time of year where a lot of mid-majors are making some of their money and not having the best performances because they're going places to get smoked.
So, I'm going to give this one was actually tough. So, I'm actually going to give a silver star real quick. I'm going to give a silver star to UNC Wilmington.
Okay.
So, on the basketball side, they defeated Radford 81-73. But also last week on Tuesday, they beat East Carolina 85-60. So two good wins on the basketball court.
Very much
but
so.
You don't have the football team over there. So again, how much of that do you weigh? Elon football got a massive in-state win, 55-17 over North Carolina A&T. And on the basketball court, they lost to Miami, which, okay, you're going to play a tough team. You lost on the road to Miami, but you beat in-state opponent App State 88-53. So you have a blowout win on the football field. You have a blowout victory as well on the basketball court, and you at least played a top team in Miami, a power conference team in Miami. So gold star goes to Elon and the Phoenix.
My brother went to Elon, so shout out to the Phoenix.
There you go. But yeah, UNC Wilmington, I'll give them a silver star. Very close consideration.
All right. I'm with it. And actually, good job bringing in the non-football programs, which they probably feel a little overlooked in events like this.
We got to take it all into consideration here.
I got into it with a UNC Wilmington fan because they were making fun of Delaware for leaving the CAA. And I was like, you think we left for basketball? We left for football.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to talk trash when you don't have a football team. But it was all in love. Shout out to Wilmington. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Now that we're not there, go ahead and dominate the CAA.
Yeah.
Big Bad Bully just left. You make sure you let everybody know what's what. That's it for the Podium here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 is next. Panthers lost Monday Night Football. Yikes. Stick around.
Your home shelters your dreams and protects your memories. At Baker Home Exteriors, we understand this deeply. It's why we've dedicated ourselves to caring for homes like yours. As part of the Baker Roofing family, we bring a century of expertise to every project, from roofing and siding to windows and decks. We don't just upgrade homes, we help protect the life you've built within them. Because your home is where our heart is. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and start your home's next chapter.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Increasing clouds for your Tuesday, increasing temperatures as well, highs in the low 70s. We'll see a stray shower this afternoon, a better chance of scattered showers tonight into Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, dry with near-record warmth. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 663 points at the closing bell to 47,112.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4. You can set your watch by it. We talk pigskin at 4. And today, it's all about reacting to the Panthers' 20-9 loss to the Niners.
Bruh.
Monday Night Football, all eyes on them. All right, there's things you can nitpick small, right? You can dive all the way in. Things like play calling on the 2-point conversion, right? Things like Teteroa McMillan getting his weekly concentration drop out of the way. Things like injuries, right? You could dive into a whole bunch of stuff. So often when a game is done, right, and you're in that post, at least this is how I watch it, right? I'm watching so intently, I'm taking notes, I'm texting myself things, I'm doing there's that post-game haze where you're watching and going like, all right, what are the big questions? Right? What do I hope this guy, meaning whoever the main character is, right? This player, this coach, what do I hope they have to answer in a post-game press conference or interview with Scott Van Pelt or something? Like what am I hoping for? And so often, good and bad, the conversation for me around the Panthers comes down to, do you trust Bryce Young or not? Does Dave Canales trust Bryce Young or not? And I thought, and this is where, right, I maybe with new information, I'm changing my opinion. You're allowed to do that. I thought you could fake it. Right? I thought if you're a play caller, you could force yourself to act like you trust Bryce Young. Right? Call the plays downfield. And whether you believe in him or not, you recognize it is important to call those plays, so you have to. I don't know if Dave Canales can fake it. Because here's what happens, and it's happened so many times. If you trust somebody, you trust them beyond one big mistake. Right? Like if I say I trust you, you're my friend, I trust you, and you're hanging out at my house, and I go, I got to run to the store, and I leave and come back, and then I can't find my laptop. And if I immediately go to you and say, you took my laptop, where'd you put it? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't trust you, right? Because I've got to look around. I got to go see. I got to ask other people. I got to talk to my wife. Is it in your car? Like I've got to, if I trust you, I don't jump there right away. I think Dave Canales went into the game hoping to trust Bryce. Thinking in this game, I'm going to trust Bryce, just like I did against the Falcons last week. And look, it worked. I forced myself to throw it, call plays downfield, and it worked. Look at this. And then there was that interception down on the goal line. Right? Canales forced himself to trust Bryce, and Bryce threw it in a place where you just can't. Just a bad decision, bad execution all the way around. And then he couldn't hide it. And then the play calls, even the pass plays, became a dummied down version of what they wanted to be. There were a lot of, I call them horizontal passes, even though they're not all like just swing passes. There's a lot of those just easier completions, low risk, low reward, right? You're catching them for 4 yards if you complete them. And it just held everything back. And that means you don't trust him. That means you don't trust him.
11 of Bryce's 18 completions were 5 yards downfield or shorter. And
it looked like it.
And 6 of them behind the goal line.
It's almost like he was trying, meaning the play caller, Dave Canales, was trying to force himself to trust Bryce. Like, I'm calling a pass here because I trust him. And then as he got close, he went, well, actually, we'll call a swing.
I said behind the goal line, behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, my apologies on that. Because all of his passes were behind the goal line except for one.
It'd be awesome if they got behind the goal line more often, meaning the far side of the goal line. But it's really what this whole season comes down to. It's what everything comes down to. Do you trust Bryce or do you not? And if you don't, then you need to start, for lack of a better term, Tebowing your game plan. Right? Remember, there was a point in time where the Broncos thought they were going to win with Tebow as a quarterback. And then at some point they went, you know what? I think we can win with Tebow as a gimmick. And they started running him 20 times a game. And every pass was a complete surprise. And it was a jump pass. And it was all this weird stuff. They stopped trusting him and just embraced that they don't. You can't fake it. Bryce Young had 29 attempts. He had 29 pass attempts, which, I mean, when they only ran like 50 or 45 plays, like that's a healthy percentage, but they didn't trust him, right? It wasn't their playbook A squad of plays. It was their playbook squad of plays, like the package of plays that they felt they could run with Bryce. Not the best play. And the NFL, it's too good, right? The defensive players, even without Fred Warner. And I don't know why that the broadcast had to show Fred Warner up in the booth or up in the suite 7,000 times in that game. Even without Fred Warner and even without Bosa, they are an NFL defense. And there are darn near no NFL teams that are good enough to win without picking the best possible play every play. You can't say, well, our best option, I don't trust Bryce. Our second best option, I trust him with our fourth option. We'll go with that one. You're not that good to win with your fourth option of plays. Rico Dowdle had 6 carries. 6. He averaged 6.3 yards per carry. If you don't trust him, embrace that you don't trust him and give the ball to Rico a bunch. If you do trust him, you have to let him continue to have the full playbook at his disposal all the way past mistakes. Do you know who actually trusts Brock Purdy? Kyle Shanahan. Do you know why? Because he threw 3 interceptions on 3 consecutive drives last night. Because he let him keep throwing at J.C. Horn after he threw the pick to J.C. Horn because he kept calling those plays. Now, eventually he reeled it in, but not after the first mistake, after the 3rd critical error. Bryce Young is your quarterback. If you trust him, trust him. If not, you have to make changes. You can't go about the facade. You can't go about the charade. And by the way, I would operate as if I trusted him. Because that's the only way you're going to win, if you're going to win. And then you're going to have a fully 100% signed, sealed, delivered decision by this offseason. Now, I'm not calling for jobs here, okay? I don't like doing that. But what I will say is it's becoming more and more and more difficult to think that these two will coexist in a successful way. Like high noon, right? This town's only big enough for the one of us. Like maybe that's what they got to do. They got to pick one. The more and more, like my advice to Bryce, if I were in his inner circle, it'd be real simple. Listen, man. Keeps going like this, you're going to lose your job. Do you want to grab the wheel and steer this thing, or do you want to let somebody else drive you to a somewhere else? Drive you to backing up Jameis Winston. Drive you to being traded for scraps to someone else so Dave Canales can pick his guy. Or do you want to grab the wheel? This is the point where a head coach who's not a play caller fires their coordinator and calls the plays, because if they're going to go down, they want their hands on the wheel. Bryce cannot have another situation where his yards per attempt, his yards, depth of target, right, how far downfield his intended targets are, is essentially long handoffs, because it's not good enough. I don't know if it's a hand signal, a wink. I don't know if there's the hey, Roger to Teteroa McMillan. Whatever you got to do, get him downfield and take some chances, because if you don't complete him downfield, nothing's going to work. And that's assuming it's pass play. I wouldn't start checking out of the runs to Rico Dowdle because he's really darn effective at it. I said it earlier. Bryce Young and Dave Canales in the pass game only have to be good enough to keep defenses honest. Okay? They are and should be a run-first team. You start with Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard, who got a couple carries and had at least one nice one. You either give the ball to the running backs and stay there until the defense stops you, and then be good enough in the pass game to keep them honest, or you have to lean into Bryce Young and say, we trust you with every aspect of the playbook. And if it's not one of those two things, I don't see a way this offense is successful. You can't half-step. You can't trust him, but only with the easy passes. You can't trust him, but as long as, we always make the most conservative play call. You either trust him or you don't. And you have to give, like if Rico is averaging 6.3 yards per carry, that's kind of like shooting 48% from 3. Like that's too good. If you're averaging 6.3 yards per carry, I'm going to keep giving you the ball until it comes down to around 5 because you're still efficient at 5. It's like if you're shooting 48% from 3, I'm going to have you keep shooting until you're shooting like 43%. It's too good. That means you're not shooting enough. Rico Dowdle at 6.3 yards per carry needs to be given the ball more, and it's not as if they were down 17 in the first quarter and had to abandon the run. It was a one-score game for a majority of the game.
Yep.
There was no reason not to lean on your running game.
By the way, the 43 offensive plays by the Panthers yesterday,
43,
tie for second fewest in franchise history in terms of number of plays ran. That shows they're 1 of 7 on third down.
Well, that even more,
yeah,
that even more takes away the justification that Dave Canales gave about, in the second half we were down 2 scores, so, we kind of had to force the issue in the pass. You weren't operating that. You were still huddling in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there was no let's get to the tempo game. Let's go 2 minutes.
You weren't worried about the clock. You weren't like, we need to pick up chunks or have incomplete stop the clock. You were operating leisurely. You could have run the football. And then maybe hustle to the line, right? And then the run only cost you the time that you would have huddled anyway. 43 plays. That's, for example, the number I always throw out, right? Because every team runs a few different, some are faster tempo, some are slower. Game script matters. When I'm just talking about like a generic team, I throw 60. I almost said a number that all the kids would have repeated. 60. We'll go 66.
2/3.
Yeah, I'm not talking percentages.
Oh.
I always go out of the 66 offensive plays that an average team runs, that's the number that I think is normal. By the way, I was going with the meme number there that I didn't like to say.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Had some parents tell me, every time it's better.
We know.
In the back of the car every time I say a particular number combo. 66. That's more realistic. 43 is all they ran. Not a efficient day. And obviously you weren't worried about the clock if you're running 43 plays. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I have a lot of things that I am kind of stewing on, which we're going to have to break down, and it's going to take a while. Going to have to really dig in. That is football at 4. Before we move on, Dennis Cox has something for you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know a lot of people have been hearing me talk about this for the last 4 months or so, about Raleigh Weight Loss Center. That's how long I've been with the program. It's 4 months. I'm 42 pounds down. I know, again, people have heard me say that a lot, and I still get people come up to me, even here in the office, be like, you really lost 42 pounds? Yeah, I have, and I've kept the weight off. That's the thing about it, is that I've been at this weight for a few weeks now. Still sticking with the program and still sticking with it in terms of the maintenance phase of it. I've obviously done the weight loss. Now I'm working on the maintenance part of it, and it's working. That's the thing. So many of these diets and stuff that you see nowadays where people fluctuate up and down. You lose a bunch, then you gain it back. You lose a bunch, you gain it back. That's not what it's been with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've lost the weight, and I've kept it there. And one of the things that I appreciate about the Raleigh Weight Loss Center plan is that it's an actual plan. Hey, follow this. Here you go. If you do it, you're going to see results in some way, shape, or form. And one of the things that they actually help you with is, especially living here in the Triangle area, there's a restaurant guide. So if you want to go out to eat at a restaurant and you're on the Raleigh Weight Loss Center plan, hey, when you go to this restaurant, here are the different foods that you can order. Maybe alter this food in order to help fit the weight loss program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. They give that to you. So there's a restaurant guide so you can still go out to eat and still enjoy time with friends and with family as well. There's so many different resources that the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program gives you that they're with you every single step of the way. And the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program right now, it's 20% off. It's 20% off. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and tell them the promo code LOSE IT. That promo, LOSE IT, it's going on literally right now all the way through Black Friday. So this coming Friday. So jump on that opportunity to save money on the program. Again, 20% off. Use the promo code LOSE IT. But when you give them a call at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, you're setting up a free 15-minute phone call to see if the program is right for you. But again, mention the promo code LOSE IT and that you heard about it right here from me, 99.9 The Fan. I've, again, lost 42 pounds. If you want to lose the weight, don't hesitate. Get started. Raleigh Weight Loss Center, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have Cop or Drop and Carolina Hurricanes quarterly report cards. We're passing out grades. Next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The pace difference is dramatic. We're trying to protect them, but we basically have a game every other night. Not an easy thing to do.
Steve Kerr is the one contributing to the style that has led to the increase in pace of play. You had the Splash Brothers with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You revolutionized basketball to what we know it to be today.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
This is the sound of Claire cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd. To the bank, and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
We know you're hot to see a Carolina Hurricanes game in person. Visit 999thefan.com or fire up the Fan app and enter to win a pair of tickets and parking for the Canes-Columbus game on December 9th. Check out our Hurricanes hot ticket giveaway at 999thefan.com.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will get to Copper Drop. We will get to Canes quarterly report cards. We will, I promise. But the Canes made a very Canes. Now I'm all over the place. The Panthers made a very interesting signing that I just became aware of. Talking Carolina Panthers. Isaiah Simmons being signed to the Carolina Panthers. Signed him to the practice squad earlier today, which is in some ways depth at both linebacker and safety for them.
A former Clemson guy.
Clemson guy who, if I recall correctly, may have been the Derek Brown draft. A lot of people wanted Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, I think it was the 2000 draft.
To be the Carolina Panthers pick. He was at the peak of
2020 draft, I'm sorry.
He was at the peak of the positionless football fantasy. He at Clemson, the stat that everybody gave him were all of the different positions that he played, right? He had this many snaps at middle linebacker, this many snaps at edge, this many snaps out wide, like practically playing corner when they split out running backs. He could play safety. He could play this. He could play that. He is a freak athlete, ran fast, big, tall, strong, was a high pick, I believe, the Cardinals.
Yeah, 8th pick, literally 1 pick right after Derek Brown.
So, yeah, exactly. Hey, look at me remembering things. Didn't work out with Arizona, and he's bounced around the league a bit since then. He is the ultimate I can fix you prospect. Every single GM and coach sees the skill set and says, oh, they're just not using you right. Mm-hmm. They're just not putting you in the right positions. Get on over here. We'll make it work. And now the Panthers, it's their turn. He's going to have, he's a cat. He's going to have 9 lives in the NFL. The interesting part about it is we've seen that role be attempted with the Panthers in the past. And I was like, in some ways, Merrick plays kind of a linebacker safety hybrid, comfortable up in the box making tackles, comfortable rushing, comfortable in coverage style player. Isaiah Simmons would be a bigger version of that, but we've seen it with was it Jeremy Chin? We've seen it with a few others where they tried to make it work, and whether it did or didn't, the tweeners have been given a shot in Evero's defense. Even somebody like Frankie Louvu, right, who's kind of an edge linebacker hybrid, was given the chance to blend roles. And Simmons will, I would guess, be given a similar chance, although with much less attention, right? Because he's signed to the practice squad and he's more journeyman and not highly paid and all those things. But he's like I'm not kidding when I say it. He might be one of the best athletes in the NFL. You just got to find a way to make it work as a football player, which is not always the easiest thing.
So pre-draft, he was measured in at the combine, 6'3" and 5/8", 239 pounds, ran a 4.39.
Yeah. And by the way,
Xavier Legette ran a 4.39, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, and by the way, like I remember watching him at Clemson. It tracks. Like on field, he moves fast. It's just sometimes, the NFL doesn't click for whatever reason. But he's an athlete now.
I mean, his second year in the league, he had 105 tackles.
Tackles?
Second year in the league, 70 solo in 17 starts.
Wow.
Yeah, 70 solo.
70 solo means something.
Yeah.
Tackles are a really weird stat in the NFL because you can be really good, like a really good player, and one of your like signature stats is tackles. You can also not be that good and rack up a lot of tackles. Like,
that's true.
Bobby Wagner having 1 billion tackles is like, gosh, that guy's a Hall of Famer. You see other guys have 150 tackles, and you're like, did you make any tackles? I watched the whole game, and I didn't notice. Pile jumpers and things. But Isaiah Simmons, 70 solo is a ton. So maybe there's something there.
He has 5 picks in his career, too.
Low risk. Just sign him to the
for
practice squad. Maybe it'll turn into something. Maybe it won't.
And the Clemson fans, who are also Panther fans, can actually be happy that a Clemson player is actually playing for the Panthers. I know Hunter Renfro's on the team, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the South Carolina fans will get on him for every missed tackle he has.
Well, there's that.
Even if he, with all the injuries, maybe he's forced into action this weekend against the Rams.
It's real.
That would be a very, very tough assignment for him to just go up against the Rams, who are maybe the best offense in football, and you've been on and in the facility for like a day and a half. And yes, South Carolina fans will not take any of that context into account when they decide to cheer or rue a Clemson Tiger. The Drive of Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the latest news for the Panthers. The latest move for us is Copper Drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
All right, Copper Drop. Let's go right into the Carolina Panthers here. Talking a lot about Dave Canales, talking a lot about Bryce Young, the head coach and quarterback, respectively. Cop or drop? Both Dave Canales and Bryce Young are part of the Panthers organization going into 2026. Cop or drop?
I am copping part. I like that you gave me a trap door. Part of the organization does not mean starting for the organization.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a market for Bryce Young. I think Andy Dalton, based on what he put on the field earlier this year, it might be, he might look around and go, it's a good time for me to depart, fellas. So if you're looking for a backup, bringing in a veteran bridge starter, keeping Bryce Young around, there's something there. Do you know what's the really hard part? I think either of them can stick around in their same role if they hard throw the other under the bus. And I don't know if that's really what you want to have to do to keep your place in the organization. But if Dave Canales says, I never got my guy, the offense works, I just don't trust him, even if he says it behind closed doors, I think that could work and get him at least the beginning of another year, and then you see how it works with, I don't know, Jameis Winston, Mac Jones, whoever you bring in as the next guy.
All right, so you're copping that they're both back?
I'm copping they're both part of the organization.
Yeah,
I don't know what the market would be for Bryce Young.
All right, next one up here. Cop or drop? Let's actually switch focus over here to little ACC football. College football playoff comes out tonight. Cop or drop? Miami, the Hurricanes, will be in the top 12 of the college football playoff. Cop or drop?
What were they, 13?
They were 13th.
13th, and I'm trying to think of the bad losses above them.
Massive win over Syracuse.
No, Syracuse was Notre Dame. They won.
I'm sorry, that was Notre Dame, correct.
Miami did beat somebody by a bunch, though. I can't think of any real bad losses above them. Who got upset this weekend? Were there any big ones?
I need to look and see here again.
Did Utah lose? If Utah lost, they bump up one. I don't know if they did or not. Yeah. So how high do they have to go? Top 12?
Top 12.
Well, really, to make it interesting, they have to get to 10, right? Because if they get to 10, then they're in regardless of what the other conference champions do. If they don't get to 10, then they'll likely be bumped for conference champions. So, unless they are the conference champion, which we went over earlier, is mathematically possible. I'm dropping. I think the committee is aware that they don't want 2 ACC teams in. So my guess is Miami is going to be sitting at 13th from now until forever. Unless they lose, then they'll fall way down. So
Utah beat Kansas State 51-47.
Yeah, so they're not going down. Yeah, no, I think Miami stays at 13. So dropping, I believe, is the answer.
Okay, next one here on the college football world. Cop or drop? Another coach in the ACC will be fired after this weekend? Cop or drop?
Well, Will Cox was fired from Cal.
Yep. We've seen Brent Pry get fired already from Virginia Tech. Obviously, they've hired James Franklin.
Fired and replaced.
Frank Reich at Stanford, we know, was only there for a year, so they're still on a head coaching search.
So that doesn't count as a firing?
That doesn't count as a firing, no, because we already know he's going to be gone.
Fair. I don't think. Just we'll work up from the bottom. I don't think Bill O'Brien's going anywhere. I don't think Fran Brown's going anywhere. Syracuse. I don't think they already said Florida State. Mike Norvell's not going anywhere. Virginia Tech already did. I don't think Bill Belichick's going anywhere unless he wants to. Stanford, we just established that doesn't count. NC State, Dave Doran, I don't believe is going anywhere, especially not after this week. I think they're bowl eligible, and he would at least get that before he or they make a decision. Will Cox from Cal's gone. Everybody else is, Louisville, Clemson, Wake. They're all settled. So, no, I don't think I'm dropping. I don't think anybody gets fired after this week.
Okay, next one up here on the college football world. Cop or drop, a ACC football coach in the state of North Carolina will be coaching a different team in 2026. Cop or drop?
I'm dropping. With two caveats there. One, Josina Anderson, who her reputation has gone up and down with how accurate some of her insider reports are, but she's been in the game a long time, and she obviously does have sources of some kind. She said that there's 2 NFL teams that are actively considering Bill Belichick.
Interesting. Even though he did state that he's not going to explore anything this hiring cycle.
Correct. Josina Anderson's report and her sources, not mine.
Yeah.
She also said that there's a long-standing NFL coach that is ready for a change, somebody that's like entrenched in their place, but she didn't say who. So obviously Bill Belichick would be more interesting if we knew 2 or 3 teams were interested in him. Also, like Dave Doran, if he's not coaching NC State, I don't think he's coaching anywhere else. I think he is either coaching NC State or playing guitar by a bonfire at a lake somewhere and enjoying life. So dropping it because I don't think there's a coaching somewhere else element there. Now, would that include all like I have to be real. If you're including like all the Group of 5 and FCS coaches, I don't know enough about their job situations or their contracts and what their own ambitions are. So I don't want to speak as if I'm an expert of any kind on those situations. But the big names, I don't think they're going anywhere.
All right, final one here, which will actually, before we get into our Carolina Hurricanes grades. Cop or drop, Carolina Hurricanes trade for a netminder this year. Cop or drop. I know I ask this one often, but Kochetkov still dealing with a little bit of a nagging injury. Freddie Anderson up there in age. Brandon Bussey's been good filling in, but still questions.
Do you know what's really tough about this?
What's that?
I am firmly in belief that Eric Tulsky will never do anything that I can predict, right? Like, even if I'm sitting there saying, like, you need to get just a goal scorer, you need to get that 100-point guy, they went and got the one that I would never have predicted in Mikko Rantanen, right? Like, it's always a surprise. Nashville's not playing well.
No, they're not.
Soros makes sense.
It's a big contract.
It does, but you can eat it with some of the awesome contracts that you have, the rising cap, the cap space you have. So because of that, I'm like taking him off the table because if it makes sense, there's no way Eric Tulsky's going to do what I predict.
There's 8 years on that deal. He has a no movement clause, so there's that.
Yeah, but they're dead last, I think.
Yeah, they're not good.
If you give them the option to go dead last on an aging roster or jump over to Carolina, it's similar markets in a lot of ways, Nashville, Carolina. Anyway, my point is I'm taking that off because it seems too predictable. And I don't know any other goalies that are going to be available that are worth it. That's the hard part, right? In a vacuum, yes, I think they trade for a goalie. It's not in a vacuum. You got to find a goalie to trade for. So because of that, I'm dropping it.
By the way, the Vancouver Canucks actually did say that they're open for their veterans to be available via trade.
Generic veterans?
But just said veterans, but Quinn Hughes not available.
They don't call him a veteran?
No. He's still a youngin'.
Well,
do you want to go after Thatcher Demko, who's hurt right now?
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price. Elias Pettersson?
Which one? They have like 2.
You want to go down the same path we've been down 700 times?
Yeah.
All right, let's move to quarterly report cards. But I'm dropping the trade, even though I think it would make sense, and they will likely poke around. But I just don't see where one becomes available. Edge rushers, 3-point shooters, lefty relievers, goalies, second-line centers, they just don't become available super often because teams can't have too many of them. It's not for lack of trying. It's just not that easy to get. All right, let's jump into quarterly report cards. Are we sitting like right on the quarter mark of
we just passed it.
Just passed it.
So we
Perfect.
just passed again. Like quarterly report card, we're just about a quarter of the way through the Carolina Hurricane season. Just passed it. So
it took us a couple days to grade.
Yeah.
And now we're going to give out some of those grades. The way we're going to do this is Dennis is going to throw the student in my direction, the group project, whatever it is, and I will give a grade based on their first quarter of the season. And sometimes I'll tag in this metaphor, I guess, like my TA or something, Dennis, to help me out with the grading.
All right, next one. First one, I should say. Let's go with the new guy, or one of the new guys, Nikolai Ehlers.
Nikolai Ehlers. I actually, to stick with the sport or the school metaphor, I think he went right along the path of what I moved around a lot as a kid, right? So I was the new kid in school a lot. I think that's exactly what happens. First couple of weeks, you're a little cautious. Maybe you're not raising your hand as much. You're slow into it, and then you make a friend group, right? Maybe we sit you at a different table in English class or in math class. You make new friends. You join a team of some kind, and you flourish, right? As soon as he started hanging out with Stankoven and Blake, right, found his clique that he could eat lunch with, his joy rose and his production went through the roof, and he started acing all of his tests. So, I'll go B+ based on a slow start, but with all expectations that he's going to be fine by midterms and definitely by the end of the semester. He'll be A-okay. Just took him a while to kind of find the group that he could thrive with.
So over the last 15 games, because the first 5 games didn't register a point, but over the last 17 games, he has 4 goals, 10 assists over 17 games. It's a good points average. 14 points in 17 games. That's solid.
No,
I'm with you on that. A B+.
And you're seeing he understands it and he gets it, and you expect those test scores to go up a little bit, but he's doing solid and improving. We're not worried. No reason to call home and get the parents involved.
Yeah, I think solid B+ is good. Let's actually go to another one of the new guys. Let's go with Keandre Miller, the defenseman they traded for from the New York Rangers.
Obviously, it was unfortunate that he's taken a couple vacations through the first quarter.
Well,
his family took him to Disney World, missed those couple of weeks. So we had to send some work home with him, and came back okay. I'm still expecting bigger things from him. He is definitely a student that I see potential in. Maybe we have to work on certain classes more than others, right? Need to when he has the chance on the power play, I'd like to see a little bit more. We need to get him working in offense class a little bit more. But I mean, the potential is through the roof. I'll go just generic B, like a straight 85, with flashes of brilliance, right? It's I don't even know what the appropriate school metaphor would be. He has those weird moments like Will Hunting where he just looks at us like a complicated equation on the chalkboard and just goes like, answer's 9. And you're like, you did that in your head? Yeah, right? It's like, it's a 2-on-1. Miller's back. He's got the puck and we're going in the other direction. You did? Yeah. I have long arms, good stick skills. It's like, all right, cool. You did that one all on your own. Awesome. But then there's other moments where he struggles a bit. So I'm going just solid 85% B as can get.
I think B's fair just for the simple fact that, again, just missing games. Mm-hmm. That's really it. Otherwise, he's played well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one here. Let's actually go with the guy that was brought back this offseason, Eric Robinson.
Oh.
I threw a little curveball at you.
For some reason, that wasn't who I was thinking. Eric Robinson, again, missed some time. See, you got to judge it on what expectations were for him. I'm trying to think back. There are certain games that you remember very well, very positively. There's a lot of games where you don't remember much, which isn't necessarily bad for a fourth liner. I'll go. I feel like I'm a broken record here, but I'll go B to B minus, something like
B minus. Oh,
B to B minus, just because the missed time and it's hard for a fourth liner. Maybe B minus is a little aggressive. I want to see more, and also the physicality, skating, and everything. Like some others are helping him there when in other moments he's been kind of so responsible for that. So others are taking your participation points.
I'm going A minus grade.
A minus, all right.
A minus grade on Eric Robinson because like you mentioned, the speed, the physicality that he brings, and he's a threat to score, and he's a matchup nightmare for a lot of other teams' fourth line. So yeah, I'm going to give him an A minus grade. I think he's been really, really good this season.
I'm not necessarily hating on that. It's just it's tough because he's asked to do so much. He's not on the ice as much and all those other things. It's tough.
All right, let's go with Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall. This is one. If he didn't have the run he had, I really like the way he sees the ice. He's had moments of brilliance, but he also has had some uncharacteristic, questionable decisions. He's been up on the first line a little bit, which was a weird moment in time. I'm very with the players you're throwing out there. I promise there are others that have been above and below. I'm getting B's. I'm getting there's still. Part of me wants to motivate him to go a little bit more. So I'll go solid B, just a normal B for Taylor Hall.
I was going to say B plus for the simple fact that he's been able to move up and down the lineup in any different spot, wherever Rod needs him, and he's helped.
He's almost a teaching aide at this point.
I know.
Like that's his role. Like he can't be graded the same as we're grading some of these young guys. He's a 34-year-old former MVP. It's like I'll tell you what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
When I transferred high schools between my sophomore and junior year, and my first high school did Algebra 2 and Trigonometry as one class for a full year. They called it Alg 2 Trig.
Okay.
And when I transferred to my next school, they couldn't accept it as both an Algebra 2 credit and a Trigonometry credit. I had to pick. So I counted it as a Trig credit, as like I've done my Trigonometry class, and then I had to retake Algebra 2, which was a class I had just taken, right? Just literally finished it like a month before and took it again. And I was in there. I just had all the answers. I was back there like, hit me with another one, teach, because I had just like passed the class at, quite frankly, a more difficult school not that long ago. I feel like that's Taylor Hall to an extent. Like certain times you ask a question, he's just like, nailed it, done this. I was MVP at my last school or at 4 schools ago. So yeah, B, but I've and by the way, the teacher who taught me Algebra 2 at my next school, her son is a football player at Duke. At times she would like slide me more difficult problems and stuff. And I'm like, that's not cool. But good teachers. What are you going to do? So yeah, I'm giving him a B, but I have high expectations.
All right. Group project 1. Let's grade this one. Penalty kill.
Group project with some guys just throwing their names on that thing and are not actually a real part of it, right? Like Jacob Slavin, he was supposed to do the first 6 slides of the project, and he hasn't been in class for the last 2 months. That's not cool, right? He doesn't even respond to the group anymore. That's gonna hurt, right? Now, part of me wants to, as a teacher, look at him and say that's life. Right? If you're in a project at work and somebody isn't pulling their weight, you just got to pick it up. Right? Your boss isn't going to be okay with just excuses and whining. With that being said, they haven't been great. I'll go C+.
They've underperformed in my eyes. I would give them a C minus.
See, but yeah. You know which teachers are tough, right? The things that the blue line does, the thing that the penalty kill does, is always going to be judged a bit more difficult when you're a Carolina Hurricane. So, yeah, maybe I'll even go a little bit further down along with you.
Final group project, the power play.
These are some of my. I had such high expectations. These are some of my smartest students, right? These are some of my honors kids, and they struggle in this particular subject. So it's gonna hurt when I go. I'm gonna go C- with it. I'm gonna go C-, and I'm gonna expect some calls from their parents because these are the high achievers. These are the kids. They're going for valedictorian. They're trying to get into Ivy League schools, and I'm sitting here giving them a low grade. But The guy calls them like I sees them. They haven't been doing well enough on the power play.
So in the last 14 games for the Canes power play, 7 of 34. That's 20.6%. That's still below league average, a D+.
All right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is our Canes report card. Up next, we do have a conversation with Mike Glennon all about the Panthers game last night. He obviously was in the NFL for 10 years in quarterback room, so he knows what some of the hurdles that they have to overcome feel like. Also, he is an NC State former quarterback. If you want our insight into state football, he and I co-host a podcast, Pack Therapy, everywhere on all different kinds of podcasting platforms, our YouTube, our app as well, 99.9 The Fan. But before we get to any of that, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry and the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop. This is the time of year where you start thinking about the passage of time, right? You start thinking about, remember that Christmas we were at Grandma's house and it was so much fun and the kids were this age. One way to mark the passage of time, ironically, is with a luxury timepiece, right? It doesn't just tell you time, it marks the passage of time. Try something like finding a pre-owned or vintage Rolex created in the year that your kids were born, right? So you can have the Explorer or the GMT for each of your kids, right? You can have the Daytona that always reminds you of what it was like to have little Bobby running around the Christmas tree, right? If you're looking for a sentimental and very high-quality gift for someone in your life, check out Bailey's Fine Jewelry, right? Could be a piece of jewelry, could be a watch like I just described, pre-owned and vintage Rolex, Blancpain, Norcane, Glashute Original, an Omega from the largest shop in a shop. It's a little shop within a shop for Omega, the largest one of its kind in the country. If you're interested, stop out and talk to them. They have experts in everything that they sell at the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop and also Bailey's Fine Jewelry as a whole. Their Village District location in Raleigh has the Watch Shop and the Omega boutique, so check it out there. When you're there, make sure they know you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan from me, Tim. Tell them when you walk in. As I said, Mike Glennon, me and him caught up earlier today. That conversation coming up next.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
At Smith Douglas Homes, we're proud to support our hometown heroes, teachers, healthcare workers, firefighters, and military. As a thank you, receive a $2,500 credit towards your new home purchase. Explore smithdouglas.com. Smith Douglas, where it's your home, your choice, within reach.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
The McRib season gets even more magical when you pair it with any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.49. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Price and participation may vary.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This hour of The Drive brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It's time for our weekly check-in with Mike Glennon, former NC State quarterback, longtime NFL quarterback, and giving us some insight into quarterbacking in the NFL. The Bryce Young roller coaster, Mike, up and down and up and down. I actually think last night had some to do, or a lot to do, with the play calling as well. So we'll start there. Monday Night Football. It's a big deal. It's what you dream of. How much does that maybe change things from a prep standpoint or from a play caller and quarterback, big stage, differing how they play or call the game?
It really shouldn't change much. I mean, you basically get, depending on how they structure, they might have given them one extra day of practice, one extra day of kind of a walk,
Yep.
Whether they push it to the front end or the back end, they might have had a Wednesday practice that was kind of like a little bit of a prep, and then we'll start our week, or you could kind of treat our normal week, and then we'll have two more or less Friday practices, with the second one being on Saturday. So it doesn't change much. Sometimes, you hear about people talking about the Super Bowl that you can start to overthink things. Mm-hmm. That's 2 weeks. This is just one extra day. So there really isn't much change.
But from a everybody is watching, like, do you get a pressing or right? Because Bryce Young had an early turnover down in the red zone, and it felt like they then clammed up a bit. Like, is there some, oh no, we don't want to be embarrassed on Monday Night Football?
I would hope not. I mean, I think it's one thing you kind of hit on to start the week, like, here we go. This is everything we dreamed of, Monday Night Football. And then from that moment on, you just treat it like a normal week. I think that's what the NFL does do a great job of, is like, it's a long season. We can't get too high, can't get too low. Is it fun to play on Monday Night Football? Of course. I don't think it quite has the same feel like when we were growing up, because back then, Monday Night Football was the only time you were on, everyone across
Sunday
the country
ticket has made it less cool.
can watch. Now, I can watch every game I want because of Sunday Ticket. So I don't think it quite has the appeal that it used to, and I would hope that they wouldn't go into this game pressing because it's being on Monday Night Football.
Mike Glennon joining us here talking Bryce Young and Carolina Panthers after a rough loss on Monday Night Football last night. How do you see the getting too cute nature, right? Because I struggle with this one, and Dave Canales as a play caller is getting roasted right now because they have, first and goal at the 2 and they call a play action, or they Rico Dowdle isn't being given all of the short yardage because they're throwing it. And part of me gets it because I'm like, they're trying to get Bryce an easy touchdown pass. And I know he threw the interception, but starting with the touchdown is huge for everything else. And if every time it was a run first play, you ran it, the defenses would know that. So where's the balance between getting too cute and trusting your running game?
To me, it comes down to trusting your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Like, look, I don't think you can put that one on the offense coordinator. That's not getting too cute. It's first and goal from the 1. How many times have we seen someone throw a wide open, touchdown from the 1 yard line? You just have to say, if it's not there, throw it away. Like, it's a pretty basic rule that, look, this needs to be more or less a wide open touchdown. If it's danger at all, throw the ball away. Now we have a second one, and then we can hand it off to Rico Dowdle. So I don't think it's the play caller getting too cute. It's you just can't do that as a quarterback.
How does it work? We were talking sudden change on the pod, which, by the way, Mike and I co-host Pack Therapy, the podcast. For Mike's insight into NC State football, go check it out on the pod. We're talking obviously more quarterbacking in theory and Bryce Young here. They went for 2 when analytics say you should have, but it was a kick extra point penalty, shortens the distance to the goal line. They then run the offense back out there, and again it's pass play. Which, if your best 2-point conversion play is a pass play, it really doesn't matter if it's from the 3 or from the 1.5, right? It's a strange strange thing to get so excited about having that penalty shorten the distance when you could have taken it on the kickoff to go out there and run a pass. Is that overthinking it? Like, oh, they won't expect this? How does that happen?
I don't mind the pass play on the 1.5 yard line. Like, I think it's different than running it from the 1, like having goal to go from the 1 on first down. Like,
very different. Because
you only have one shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So if you get stuffed running the ball, there's no tomorrow. Where passing, you have way more options. Bryce is quick enough to make plays with his feet. Like, I don't mind throwing the ball at all when you get in those 2-point conversion.
Then let's talk about trusting the quarterback and the interception. The close red zone, it's becoming a thing with him, right? And you said the rule, right? If it's not there, if it's not wide open, throw it away, tuck it and run. How do you coach that out of him, right? It's not like it's the red zone where it's the 17. Like, it's the close red zone. It's the +3 a lot of the times, or +7, right? It's really down there.
Right. And my first thought is that where the height comes into play? Like, when you're out in the open field, everything's spread out. When you're down in there in the red zone, everything's crammed in tight together.
Everything, like, windows are smaller in the red zone.
Windows are smaller. They got their big guys in on the defense line, maybe tougher to see. So that would be my first thought is that where the height comes into play more than in the open field.
From a vibe standpoint, being in the locker room, they had something going, right? The Atlanta game, I know they had a clunker before that with the Saints, but really for the first time, I felt like they're 6-5 and going, the short time between Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, they were tied atop the division with the Bucs.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're now a half game back, but did they give back all of that positive vibes that they earned with a national television, everybody watching Monday Night Football stinker?
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, last week on Pack Therapy with the Miami film. It's like, do you just flush this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, completely just move on? And I said no with NC State in regards to that Miami game. This one, I think it might be one of those cases. Like, you're out in San Francisco. The game ended at almost midnight Eastern time. They probably didn't take off till 2 a.m. Eastern, get back to Charlotte at 7 a.m., and then you're back at practice tomorrow. Like, that might be a week. Hey,
for the offense especially.
Yeah, like, we're going to coach like 3 plays off of this, and we're moving on. Like, they got the Rams coming in town, arguably the best team in the league. Like, we are putting this 49ers game behind us. The Bucs lost as well. Like, we're in the exact same spot we were a week ago. So let's flush this one and move on.
I feel like we've had this conversation about this team a lot. There's got to be a little worry about the defense looking at the offense and saying, what the heck? They picked off Brock Purdy 3 times on back-to-back-to-back drives. And with 2 backup linebackers, I know they didn't bottle them up, but did a pretty good job against the Christian McCaffreys and the George Kittles of the world. And it just never happened offensively. Is there – from a Dave Canales standpoint, right? And I've never had this experience. My head coaches were always CEO head coaches. When you're the head coach and the offensive guru and the offense holds you back in such a big way, is there any strange dynamic in the locker room? Because the defense did play pretty well.
I've been a part of that where I've been on the offense that was bad and the defense kind of looking at you. I don't think this is that. I mean, you just had a quarterback that threw for 450 yards the week before. Like, it's like if the defense wants to come at the offense and chirp at the offense because they had 3 interceptions and offense didn't do much with it. Like, come on, look at the week before. We just set a franchise record for passing yards. So that's why I think that game was really important for Atlanta. Like, if he had consistently just been that like 150, 175, and the defense feels like they're holding up their end of the bargain, that's an issue. You got proof that just a week ago, we carried the team and helped them win. So I don't think that'll be an issue.
That's Mike Glennon, our resident NFL insight expert, and we'll see him again next week. So check out Pack Therapy, the podcast, and we'll be back after this with more of The Drive. Once again, that was Mike Glennon. Real quickly here, I do want to let you know what's coming up next here on The Drive, and that would be the starting 5. Don't go anywhere. More of The Drive next.
Move your sports day forward.
The harvest of the transfer portal and recruiting has proven dividends for all of the Triangle College basketball teams. And I'm also including NC Central in that conversation. I see you, Gage Lattimore. Is it sustainable for all of them? Right now, it's easy to recover from the stumbles, but you want to make sure you don't fall flat on your face.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And this Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It is called Pass the Leg. Gosh, I love Thanksgiving jokes. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, pass it to your friends. They can add theirs, but make sure you pass it to somebody who knows what they're doing. Like, don't pass it to me. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold, and everybody gets a 50% profit boost to use on the build. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold, official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
One day only Thanksgiving Day deals are coming to Lowe's.com. Plus, members get early access to online Black Friday doorbuster deals on gifting favorites, like the still trending Cobalt Mini Toolbox for just $14.98. Don't miss up to 50% off for one day only at Lowe's.com. We help, you save. Valid 11/27 only on Lowe's.com. Member only doorbusters and midnight Eastern. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change while supplies last.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Tonight, it's mostly cloudy and mild. Some scattered light rain will be possible. 60 degrees the low. We'll still have the chance for rain Wednesday morning, but we should be dry after that. It's partly cloudy and warm with a high of 74. Temperatures crash on Thanksgiving with a high of just 52.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today up 664 points to 47,112.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five, as it always is at 5 o'clock. And we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The NFL Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I should say, has limited the potential class, the nominees, for the 2026 induction class down to the semifinalists. And you know what? I don't know how the Pro Football Hall of Fame got to this point. Last year, they inducted a partial class. They couldn't come up with 5 names to go in as far as the modern-day players. They only inducted 4. And they've really put themselves in a conundrum now because I count a ton of deserving Hall of Famers to the point where, like, some people are not going to get in this year, and it's going to be like, really? How? Drew Brees, Eli Manning, and NC State product Phillip Rivers, for my money, are all Hall of Famers. Maybe not first ballot, right? So Drew Brees, first ballot, he's in. Phillip Rivers may have to wait a year or two. Eli has now, this is, I think, third try getting at it, maybe? Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer, although eventually running back, right? I think he's third all-time in rushing yards. Don't know how you argue with that. Wide receiver, this is not an exaggeration. They have 5 semifinalists. I think 4.5 of them, maybe 5. Dennis, I don't want to insult you. Hines Ward would be the number 5 out of the list.
Who else is there?
It's Larry Fitzgerald, Torrey Holt, Steve Smith Sr., Reggie Wayne, and Hines Ward.
Yeah, I'd say 5 on that list. That's fair.
That's a lot of Hall of Famers. Jason Witten, tight end, Hall of Famer. Adam Vinatieri, kicker, Hall of Famer. Offensive line is tough. There's 6 names there. Let's say 3 get in, right? I'm just not going to run down, this guy was the best pulling guard in the history of the game. Defensive line, Robert Mathis, statistically probably a Hall of Famer. Linebacker, if you take away some of the off-the-field stuff, Terrell Suggs is an obvious Hall of Famer. Luke Kuechly is an obvious Hall of Famer. Defensive back, that's probably the weakest position. They have Darren Woodson, Earl Thomas, Rodney Harrison. But, they only get to put in 5 this year. How did they not put in 5 last year? There's a log jam, which is crazy because I actually think I'm one of the more I'm pretty tough with Hall of Fame, right? I have no problem saying you're not a Hall of Famer to people who are close. Matter of fact, for most of the time, I think if I'm waffling, I'm going to err on the side of not a Hall of Famer. But there's a lot of Hall of Famers on that list I just read. That's not an easy vote for the committee there. I think it's pretty realistic that Luke Kuechly doesn't get in this time, which is his second opportunity. And over a 7-year stretch, you could argue he's the best defensive player in the league. But I don't know how you don't have Drew Brees in there as a first ballot. I don't know how you don't have a couple of those wide receivers in there as a first ballot. Or they wouldn't even be first ballot. Only Fitzgerald would be. So then you got, 2 spots? Probably got to mix in a defensive player somewhere. I don't know. I do not envy that decision. Although I will say I think they've put themselves in this position by letting in some guys that probably shouldn't have been in the past. And if you look at now I'm being mean. But if you look at last year's class, it was Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp. I mean, if Eric Allen and Sterling Sharp don't get in there, again, no disrespect to those individuals. They're obviously top percent of the top percent. And you're able to put in, say, Eli and Luke Kuechly or Torrey Holt and Steve Smith last year, it makes this year much more palatable. Should they put in Torrey Holt and Phillip Rivers the same year just so state fans can book 1 ticket?
That would actually be kind of cool.
They put in Luke Kuechly with... No, the real Panthers in the mix, are they? Steve Smith. What am I talking about? What am I talking about?
Steve Smith.
I was thinking Cam wasn't eligible yet, but I completely overlooked Steve Smith. Putting Kuechly and Steve Smith the same year, then the Panthers will get to play in the Hall of Fame game next year?
There you go.
Huh? I'm going to give you 3 names. Do you have 3 off the top that are guaranteed in?
3 off the top of my head that are guaranteed in?
They're in the class no matter what?
In this current, in the 2026?
Yep.
Larry Fitzgerald's first year eligible, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say he's in.
I think him and Drew
Brees.
First ballot have to be.
I'd say Kuechly gets in.
All right, so he's the number 3. I think he's in the mix for 4 and 5 for me. I think you got to go Torrey Holt. I can't believe it took that long. He's dominant. Anyway, that's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
College football playoff rankings will be updated tonight. Do you know what is really a big issue for the ACC? Miami is the highest ranked team, and they are not very likely to end up in the ACC championship, which means Miami is going to have to be ranked at least 10th to get in on CFP, just, at-large bid, I guess you would call it. Right now, Virginia is sitting at 19th. Georgia Tech 16th. Georgia Tech is very unlikely to end up in the ACC championship as well, and they have to face Georgia. And obviously didn't have a great game this past weekend, so they're going to jump. It's an issue here, is what I'm saying. The teams are not high enough that need to be high enough. If Duke's still alive for the ACC championship, this is not to be insulting to Duke. I'm just calling it as I see it. if Duke gets into the ACC championship, I think the ACC would really possibly not have a CFP team. Unless Miami gets in there as an at-large. Because I don't see the committee moving anyone who's not named Virginia up high enough. Like, Tulane's up there in the top 25 now. If they win their conference. I'm worried for the ACC. I feel like I'm like a lawyer in a deposition in a crime show. I would just like to note for the record, I'm worried about this. I want that noted. Can somebody officially file a proclamation? I'm worried about the ACC. We broke down all the different scenarios for who makes the ACC championship and who wouldn't based on who wins and who doesn't this last little stretch. There's a world where teams that are not very highly seen in the committee's eyes are playing for the ACC championship, in which case whoever wins doesn't get a big win because they're not playing somebody that the College Football Playoff Committee respects, and then whoever wins may not be one of the top 5 highest-ranked conference champions. I want to note my concern. We'll see tomorrow how the College Football Committee actually ranks them, but concern is noted.
Is there a chance we get 2? We being the ACC? Is there a chance we get 2?
If Virginia wins out, Miami doesn't play in the College Football Playoff. And who's Miami got this week?
Miami plays Pitt.
Miami would have to beat Pitt by 1 billion. And get a few losses right there in like Utah, BYU, Alabama would have to lose games. But that's within the realm of possibility. So I guess, yeah, you're right. You're saying like glass half full, glass half empty. I'm over here noting concern. You'd just like to note that there's a possibility that the good happens as well. If the ACC gets 2 teams in the College Football Playoff, like, happy dance. Feel free. Go nuts, right? Buy yourself something fun. Treat yourself, because that is good fortune for the ACC. That is number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Shimmies it into Copeland, who eludes pressure now, speeds to the basket. He rises to the cup and spikes it down with 2. On the break, blows by the Bronco defense, back up 11.
Nice aggressive move by Copeland, being strong with the ball.
Crisis averted for NC State. They beat Boise State in their second game of the Southwest Maui Invitational. Lost to unranked Seton Hall yesterday. At times, were down by more than a handful against Boise State. They also fluctuated between being up by a good amount, down by a good amount, so a bit streaky. But as the game ends, NC State 81, Boise State 70, so a double-digit win. Probably good enough for all the net rankings and everything to not punish you too bad. There's another thing going on here. Like, part of me is excited because Matt Abel's been good off the bench, and Terrence Arsenault had a good game against off the bench as well. A little too equal for me, which is such a dumb thing to say out loud. Darian Williams again, 7 of 13, 2 of 5 from 3, finishes with 16 points. I think we need to tell him it's okay to score 30. Like be aggressive, be a little selfish. He is a very talented offensive player, and I think he can be your most consistent offensive option. But, it seems like there's a lot of let's make sure this guy gets his. Let's make sure he gets his. Let's make sure everybody's in double figures. They have Williams with 16, Lubin with 11, Holloman with 8, McNeil with 10, Copeland with 8, Abel with 9, Arsenault with 11, which seems balanced and good, but when the game is too close and everybody's balanced and good, I'm like, well, maybe I'll use this term because it's the football thing. Maybe the alpha wolf should take over, right? And then once they're spending a lot of energy to double and triple team you, that's when everybody else can get theirs. Let's not start as if everybody's equal. Again, it sounds so bad to say out loud, but this is sports, right? Like, in life, everybody, yes, equal. In sports, if you're more talented, you score more points.
I know they dealt with foul trouble again.
Okay.
Darian Williams,
okay.
5 fouls. No, he had 4 yesterday, early in the second half. So that's obviously playing a factor into some of this as well.
Yeah, very much could have sapped his aggressiveness. Did play 30 minutes, so that's not a unhealthy time on the court. But as anybody that's played basketball at any level knows, you get 3 quick fouls, you may be out there, but you're coasting.
Cautious.
You're coasting. Van Allen Lubin did have a double-double as well. He's been good rebounding the basketball. You know what? We should go run back. This could be an editing thing for somebody behind the scenes here. We should go grab a segment from last year about UNC, Carolina basketball, where we were worried about Van Allen Lubin being the big man on the floor for them for large stretches, where they didn't have anybody taller than him, or even if they, Withers and things was out there, but he was playing mostly perimeter and shooting the ball. I'm going to have the same concerns about NC State when they're playing against top-of-the-line ACC competition where the other team has, multiple 6'11 plus 7-footers that they can throw at you. Because Van Allen Lubin against Boise State, 12 rebounds, it's a good day. I'm not sure he does that against the bigger teams in the ACC, and then you're worried about possessions and everything, right? Are you just getting ones and dones all the time? Are you allowing the opposing team to get extra possessions? 11 points, 12 rebounds against Boise is great, but you got to be able to do that against, UNC, ironically, who now has 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot coming at you. It's a conversation, and as fair as we can be. If we were worried about it for UNC when Van Allen Lubin was the big man, we're going to be worried about it when NC State has Van Allen Lubin as the big man. And what was it? Sagnia did play, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I've been working on it, but not a ton, right? He was played 7 minutes.
7 minutes, 3 points.
No rebounds, though.
Couple blocks.
A couple blocks. Didn't see that. And obviously part of this is a little bit of box score evaluation because the game was going on while we were on air. Can't watch the whole thing and take notes. That is. Oh, wait, actually, just to update you on the other games going on tonight, UNC in, Fort Myers will be playing St. Bonaventure, which is a more difficult task than you'd think, right? St. Bonaventure, not a pushover, although UNC should win by a bunch. It's crazy. They haven't played since they played Navy. That feels a long time ago. They had urgency in that team players-only meeting right after the game. Before they went and did media, they did it. Someone should have told them, you don't play another game till next Tuesday. If you want to go do your media, you can do the players-only meeting. You got some time for it. But whatever they wanted to talk about after that Navy game where Navy ended on a run, they wanted to do it quickly. So we'll see if those lessons kind of took, right? We'll see if they stuck with you or not when they play St. Bonaventure tonight. Anything else? Wake Forest has a game tonight. I'm blanking on who they were playing, although it is here in my notes.
They are playing Campbell.
Oh, Campbell. In-state action. John Anderchek, their coach. New guy. He's playing. There's no disrespect to Campbell. This is a casual observation. Didn't actually go count them. I think they're getting paid this non-conference schedule. They are not afraid to go to a power conference team and accept their check for a nice 20-point loss. I just brought up their schedule. They've gone to Wisconsin, to West Virginia. They're going to Wake Forest, going to Penn State the next day or the next game. They're cashing checks. It's not a bad move. They're going to Gonzaga, to Minnesota. Some of those might just be the away team in neutral court games, but on their schedule it says at, so I'm counting it as it. That is number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. Out in front with a chance. Lukanen with a stick. Puck still loose. Can't clear. Empty net. Gostisbehere scores! Lukanen was down and out. The puck found Shane Gostisbehere. And on the power play, the Canes have tied it at 1.
All right, this part was supposed to be talking about the Canes and Jacob Slavin skating by himself, or not by himself, but skating prior to practice today, by his lonesome along with Jesperi Kotkaniemi earlier. But there's some more interesting audio that came from Rod Brindamore after practice today. I want to get to that. So quickly, Dennis, can you update everybody just on the injury updates that we've received on the Canes?
So Jacob Slavin, like you said, skated before practice, as did Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Still no update on those guys because they haven't actually practiced with the team, but at least they're out there on the ice skating. Again, Jacob Slavin been out since the second game of the season. Jesperi Kotkaniemi dealing with that ankle injury. Also, no Jordan Stahl at practice today. Still feeling sick, still feeling a little bit under the weather. Keandre Miller did not practice today. Tweaked something the game against Buffalo on Sunday. Rod Brindamore, hopeful, optimistic that he'll play tomorrow against the Rangers. And then also, no Pyotr Kochetkov again at practice today. Still dealing with something, lower body not feeling right. And Rod Brindamore alluded to that it's similar to what he was feeling with before the season when he missed some time as well. So a little bit nicked up as Pyotr Kochetkov in net.
So that's the update on the injury stuff. There's also some interesting conversation. The media got to talk with Rod Brindamore after the practice today about Alexander Nikishin and the decision for him not to be in the lineup last Friday. So it was against Winnipeg, a game the Canes won. Alexander Nikishin, who, as a little background, for a couple of years was considered the best defenseman not in the NHL, playing in the KHL in Russia, came over during the postseason last year, got a cup of coffee with the team. Started this year, has played a ton, has played well. Third, according to The Athletic, for the Calder Trophy, which goes to Rookie of the Year. And he was not in the active lineup on Friday. Here is Rod Brindamore explaining the decision to not play Nikishin in that game.
Sometimes you need to sit back and watch from up top. Is good. Just a reminder that it's not always going to be automatic that you play, and you got to earn your ice time. And I think we need to make sure we do that right with this player. He's going to be a really good player in this league, but there's a big learning curve still, and I think you got to make sure we do it right with him, because you don't want to be having these in 4 years from now be talking about these same issues because you didn't address them. So it's just little details, and we know he's got offensive ability. It's crazy. That's we don't have to talk about that. It's just the other stuff of the game, which is the hardest part about playing defense in this league.
So it was a decision. It was a message sent, and it was kind of interesting to hear Rod explain it that way. More from Rod Brindamore on the decision. This is on when asked how Nikishin has handled the teaching moment of being sat down for a game.
It's been a little bit of a challenge. I think, too, again, there is a language barrier. He's done a nice job of understanding English, but it's still, there's no possible way you could be really comfortable in what's been going on. That's why we work with him every day and show him the clips. And, I think it's going to all come together, but we just got to, it doesn't hurt to give a night or two off here or there. And especially, I don't think he's played in this type of environment this many games. We're playing 4 sometimes games a week. It's a lot to take in.
You impressed with the work ethic, attitude, and all that, though?
Well, I think that's part of it. He's got there's a different level of, work ethic that needs to be out there in an NHL game. I mean, I think that's just learning that out. It's every shift, every second of every shift. These are all learning things that he's going to, once he picks up, I think you're going to see just a huge, not even so much in maturation in his game, but that's the easy stuff to do. The stuff he has, we can't really teach. The poise with the puck and the offensive stance, so we can definitely teach him the other stuff.
It's a coaching move, and I said this earlier. If Rod Brindamore is your coach, you have to give him full autonomy to do things like this. Hey, guy's got to sit up there and watch it for a day. He's got to figure it out. He's not automatically in the lineup. You got to earn it every day, right? Your spot in the lineup is not owned. It is rented, and you have to pay rent every day. Like, you got to trust him. And here's the other thing. You have to trust him that he knows the best way to reach a player. I don't know if I've said this in a while. The bear or the hair. One of my favorite things a coach ever told me was this is from a wide receivers coach in college. You don't coach every kid the same, because every kid doesn't react the same to different things. And the way he said was, he used a furry animal in the woods analogy. He's like, if you're trying to get a fox to run as fast as he possibly can, some fox are motivated by the hare they're chasing, right? A rabbit they're trying to eat. So if the rabbit takes off, that's when that fox reaches their max miles per hour. Other fox might reach their max miles per hour when there's a bear chasing them that wants to eat them. Now, neither is right or wrong, right? The coach has to figure out how to get the fox to run the fastest. So maybe some coaches after great games, or some players after great games, Oh, love up on them. Tell the media they were your first star, right? Go love up on them, and they will chase that praise as hard as they possibly can for the rest of their career. Some, after bad games, you got to get on them. You got to punish them. You got to make them run. You got to let everybody know it wasn't good enough. You maybe have to sit them down for a game. You got to do what you have to do. That's being motivated by the bear, and coaches have to recognize which one is which, and you have to trust your coach to do it. Now, some Canes news that's a bit more tangible, a little less Aesop fable-like. The Canes have recalled forward Justin Robidas. This just coming across seconds ago from the Chicago Wolves, a forward. They've also placed forward Jesperi Kokaniemi on injured reserve in order to make the roster space. Obviously, the injured reserve, it's not like the NFL. This doesn't mean Kokaniemi's done for 4 weeks. It opens up the roster spot as he continues to rehab and get back from the injury. Robidas being pulled up probably means there's a sickness in the forward room, whether it's Stahl or someone else that's, it's passed along to. They're worried about having enough forwards for tomorrow would be my guess.
Just to have an extra body just in case. That's really it.
What can you tell us about Robidas?
He's an undersized guy that can skate really, really well, which is fitting, right, for the Carolina Hurricanes. But he's a smaller guy. But again, he's 55 points in 70 games with the Wolves last season. So he can produce. So he has 12 points in 16 games this season for Chicago. So again, a guy that you expect to probably play on your fourth line is my guess.
He is organizational depth.
Yep.
And he's like, this isn't his first NHL call-up, right? I'm not saying he's like a veteran, but there's, you trust him having been in the program, been in the franchise as long as he has, that if need be, he can give you, I wouldn't expect 16 minutes, but he can give you 8, you know what I mean? And Kokaniemi obviously on IR. We'll see what it means tomorrow. No game today, so this is obviously preemptive work from the Canes. That's number 2. How about number 1?
Go one! Play fake. Bryce rolling to his right. Throws back in the end zone. Juggled and intercepted by the 49ers and Jair Brown.
As that play was developing, it was a hard play action. Bryce rolls to his right. There's a million Niners jerseys in the back of the end zone there. I'm thinking to myself, don't throw it. He threw it, Luke.
Panthers lost Monday Night Football last night to the Niners, 20-9. They're 6-6. I think it's important to say they're 6-6. They are 500 at the latest part of the season. They've been 500 in quite some time. Granted, they are playing the Rams next week, and they look like an absolute wagon. So that'll be a tough one. I thought it was an interesting point brought up, and if you listen to the conversation right before the top of the hour with Mike Glennon, the down and close turnovers by Bryce. Maybe it's a memory trick here, and they're just so impactful that it feels like they happen a lot. I wonder if there's not something to be said for his height matters more down and close on the low red zone. The interception he threw, which was horrendous, right? You just heard the highlight there, right? Rolling right, had to put it higher, but you also, if you go back and watch it, and you watch it on the All 22 or whatever, the guy that made the interception was very much like my 4-year-old son hanging out around like a corner trying to scare me, right? You see him like his shoulders are kind of hunched down, and he's waiting and baiting, and he sees Bryce's eyes, and then as soon as the throw starts to happen, he pounces back and makes the catch. And I'm just wondering if down on the goal line, where instead of spreading out bodies, sideline to sideline and 20 or 30 yards deep, you're spreading sideline to sideline and 11 yards deep, if it's just not more difficult for a shorter quarterback to know where everybody is and kind of, see the jersey colors, especially when you roll them out right or you roll them out left, because then you're inherently shrinking the field even more because, he's not throwing all the way back to the left corner of the end zone while rolling to his right on the goal line. I don't see it he doesn't get a ton of passes batted down or anything. You don't see the height impacting him in a billion ways. But if that is one, that's when a play caller's got to know, right? If the play action pass or the shotgun pass isn't as effective there, even more reason to go Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard on 4 run plays to get into the end zone once you're presented with the ball down there after a short drive coming off a turnover. It was a really aesthetically frustrating loss. Like, just the way it looks is your defense played well. Your offense had so many opportunities and couldn't make it happen. And it would have been such a big win that Brock Purdy in that passing game tried to gift you, and you just weren't ready to accept it. Right? That's what was it? Oh, the first Atlanta game that they won 30-0. And everybody was like, well, they really didn't do anything. And, oh, did he actually play that well? And I came here right on Monday after that game and said, if somebody wants to give you the game, it is worth praise if you just accept it, right? If they open the door and all you have to do is walk through it, do the best walking job you can possibly do through that door. Last night was the exact opposite, right? The Niners were trying to give them the game, and they weren't ready to walk through that open door. It's almost like they came in expecting, we're going to have to break the door down, fellas. And then the Niners opened it, and they went, no, shut it. We've been working on this cool battering ram thing. We're gonna try to knock the door down. And the Niners just kept opening it and going, come on in, take the win. No, close it, lock it. I want to do the cool thing. And they just made it so much more difficult than it had to be. You turn it over, we turn it over. Yeah, we want to beat you fair and square. It's like, you are. Just accept it. Score the points. Just run it into the end zone. That's all you got to do. You got a running back averaging 6 yards a carry. You're on the 2-yard line. Just run the ball. Right behind Damian Lewis, hopefully, because he's playing well.
By the way, real quick note, safety Trayvon Merrick for the Panthers suspended one game by the NFL for, let's say a low blow. Low blow against Juwan Jennings, wide receiver of the San Francisco 49ers.
A low blow that was an intentional fist-made punch. Yeah. It's not a low blow. A low blow could just be, hey.
It wasn't an accident.
My knee, I didn't, it was an awkward position. Like, no, this was targeted.
Yeah.
And on Juwan Jennings did take care of business a little bit in the post game, gave a smack to Trayvon Merrick, and now the league is taking care of business with a suspension for Merrick. I have no qualms with the decision by the league. It is probably the best way to describe it, suspension worthy from Merrick. Kind of it's dirty pool. It's cheap trick. Not the band. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will grab numbers contestants in a second. We have an Alpaca Chicken gift card to give away. But first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like you to know.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, you've probably been hearing me talking about this for a while now, obviously a few months. The program and the journey I've been on at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, I've hit 4 months since I started the program. I'm still 42 pounds down. Still 42 pounds down. And that's the key part, is that I'm in what they call the maintenance phase, where it's all about maintaining the weight that you've lost, and that's exactly what I've been doing, because I've been following the program. And that's actually the thing about the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. It's an actual plan for you to follow. Here it is. Follow it. And believe it or not, I know a lot of people, I've had this in the past, want that weight loss journey to kick in at the new year, the New Year's resolution, eat better, dieting, exercise, all that kind of stuff, blah, blah. Why wait? Go ahead and get started on it now. Christmas is a month away from today, literally 1 month away. Go ahead and get started on the journey now. Start losing weight during the holidays and get a jump start on that weight loss journey in the new year. Get ahead of everyone else. Jump start on it right now. Give Raleigh Weight Loss Center a call at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call with them. Again, it's a free 15-minute phone call. And if you decide to join in on the program, they actually have a special offer going on right now this week, all the way through Black Friday. 20% off. Just mention the promo code LOSEIT. Lose It is the promo code. Mention that. Get 20% off the amazing program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. 20% off. Use the promo code Lose It. Again, give them a call. 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need numbers game contestants because I have this $30 gift card to Alpaca Chicken, legendary flavor, hometown pride, that I want to give away, but everybody doesn't get a trophy, right? You got to earn it. You got to earn it. You got to win it, not earn it. So if you want to earn yourself, you want to win yourself a $30 Alpaca Chicken gift card, you got to win the numbers game. Call in now. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The pace difference is dramatic. We're trying to protect them, but we basically have a game every other night. Not an easy thing to do.
Steve Kerr is the one contributing to the style that has led to the increase in pace of play. You had the Splash Brothers with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You revolutionized basketball to what we know it to be today.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like a Koya Pearl stud starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift-giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
We know you're hot to see a Carolina Hurricanes game in person. Visit 999thefan.com or fire up the Fan app and enter to win a pair of tickets and parking for the Canes-Columbus game on December 9th. Check out our Hurricanes hot ticket giveaway at 999thefan.com.
It's time to play the numbers game. And introducing our host of the numbers game, Tim Donnelly.
Thank you very much. It's time to play the numbers game. The contestants for today, Melanie in Raleigh and Jeff, also in Raleigh. They'll be competing for a $30 Alpaca Chicken gift card. Dennis, you could have filled time just talking Alpaca Chicken.
I mean, I could have.
I know you could have.
But I had to introduce you. You walked in.
I appreciate that. And shout out to Rusty. Does a lot of the work behind the scenes here. Deserves shouts out, especially around the holidays. Thankful for everything he does. Me and him were talking business in the hallway real quick. Melanie in Raleigh, and Jeff in Raleigh. As always, we'll bring on both contestants, ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. Melanie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. I have it. Dennis, you good?
Oh, no, I have an idea of a question.
I've got one. I've been thinking about it all day.
Oh, okay, good.
So right after the show today, I'm driving a long way with the family to go to my parents for the holidays, for the holiday this week. What is your go-to activity on a road trip? And hopefully we're thinking not I just bury myself in an iPad or something. Like, give me a road trip game activity, a sing-along, something you do to pass the time on a road trip.
Well, first off, front seat cannot sleep is the main rule.
Okay.
Passenger can't sleep. License plate game all day.
What was the game?
The license plate game. You got to find a license plate from every state.
I'm absolutely a big fan of that. We used to compete with like the other cousin sets as we went on family vacations. So license plate game, locked in. All right, Dennis, any follow-ups?
None.
All right, perfect. Melanie, you are locked in. We'll see what Jeff can come up with. Jeff, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
All right, same question to you. I have a long drive, family in the car, going to the holidays. What is your go-to activity or game or something you do in a long road trip to pass the time?
Now, bottom line, my kids, I live up here in North Raleigh. My kids are asleep before we even hit 540, and we're driving to West Virginia and then Pittsburgh. So basically, there's nothing there. But I listened to Sirius FM football while my kids are snoring away, and now I have my dog Spidey that is a much better co-pilot.
Okay.
So
that's
what I do.
All right, Jeff, I like the details. Dennis, your options are Rule number 1, front seat, no sleep. Yep. Passenger's got to be the co-pilot.
That's true.
And the license plate game. That's coming from Melanie. Or you can go with Jeff, who said rule kids are asleep. And then he listens to the game, which is a vet move there because sometimes music can get loud or can wake kids up. In a game, if you keep it low, you can still hear what's going on, and it's not as jarring. And then he also said a dog's a great co-pilot.
Dogs are pretty much a good co-pilot. This is actually a tough one. I don't have kids, so I can't relate to the kids one in that regard. But my correct answer would be with my fiance. It's karaoke. Karaoke in the
karaoke.
car. Yeah, car karaoke, carpool karaoke. It's wonderful. I'm gonna go with Melanie on this one.
Okay.
You're checking out the license plate. Sometimes it just gives you a little activity. Like, look, there's a Maine.
Yep, I'm big on license plate game. It's a good time. That night a little more difficult though. And we're driving through the night. So Melanie will get to go first. Jeff, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to stay on hold. Melanie, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, I am.
All right. NFL players who had a birthday on Thanksgiving. NBA players, they call them spelling bee players. Their last names are difficult to spell. NBA players, all European players, or NHL players, Hurricanes throughout history?
Let's go NHL, Hurricanes throughout history.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Taylor Hall, Carolina Hurricanes.
71.
Correct. Mark Jankowski, Carolina Hurricanes.
77.
Correct. Mark Recchi, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Correct. Ty Ratty, Carolina Hurricanes.
Can you repeat the name?
Ty Ratty, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Was that pass? And Enrico Ciccone, Carolina Hurricanes.
23.
Incorrect. Ty Ratty, Carolina Hurricanes.
28.
Incorrect. Enrico. I will say, looking at these, you powered through the first three, and I knew that there were some toughies coming. So it was like, oh, she's got all the momentum here. But you got 3, which is a strong number. Ratty is number 8, and Enrico, we were looking for 39 for those of you playing at home. But 3 is the number. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means Jeff and Raleigh is up next. Jeff, are you ready to pick a category?
I am.
All right.
Ready to. I'm just hoping to get off the snide. You guys know I suck at this game.
Hey.
But I'm in. We'll see what happens.
Fake it
Give
till
me NFL.
Fake it till you make it. You got to be a little bit more confident in yourself. We have.
I know my limitations.
All right, you have two categories here that you get to choose from in the NFL, assuming you don't want NBA. NFL players that their birthday has been on Thanksgiving. NFL players, spelling bee players. Those are players with last names that are hard to spell.
Hard to spell.
All right, you're going with the hard to spell players. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right, your time will start. You need at least 4 for the win, and your time will start when you hear the horn. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins.
10.
Incorrect. Star Lotulelei, Carolina Panthers.
17.
Incorrect. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins.
Pass.
Kyle Juszczyk, San Francisco 49ers.
44.
Correct. Osa Odigizua, Dallas Cowboys.
87.
Incorrect. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins. You got one, and I had a hard time with Osa Odigizua, which is not the easiest. That's just a hard category for me. But you did great, Jeff.
That's okay. I'm just glad to get off the snide.
All right. Yeah, you avoided the shutout. Unfortunately, not enough for the win, though. Hopefully you had some fun.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys enjoy your holiday and stay safe.
You as well. Drive safe. Melanie and Raleigh, you are the winner. Congratulations.
Yay, thank you.
Got the win. You got the $30 gift card to Alpaca Chicken. Congratulations once again. Just stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to get.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. These categories are getting. I'm airing my grievances. They are getting more difficult for me. When we have the NBA All-European players, so those are going to come with some pronunciations. NFL spelling bee players, inherently difficult to pronounce, I should say. And then Hurricanes, they always have a couple mixed in there. That was not my best showing. Maybe I'm throwing some people under the bus, not being a good leader. But goodness gracious. Can't we get we used to have Smiths and Jones, not saying that the names are better, saying they're easier to pronounce. One of the spelling bee players was going to be Amen Ogbongbemiga? Ogbongbemiga? Gosh. All right, I'm just mad at myself. Got to pronounce them better. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll end it with a little mea culpa. Right? I got mad there, so we'll hear from you as a reward. We hit a feedback frenzy from all across the internet. We take your feedback, respond live on air. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
The Adam Gold Show.
I know they haven't really been tested, but I like everything that I have seen from this Wolfpack basketball team. I like their size. I like their versatility. I like the fact that they share the basketball. 27 assists in the opener, 37 made field goals. You keep playing like that. Unselfish ball, play defense. With their size and their talent, they could win.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
99.9 The Fan is partnering with the Salvation Army of Wake County for Team Up to Give.
We cheer together, we celebrate together.
And when our neighbors are struggling, we step up together.
Across Wake County, more of our neighbors continue to face nights without a safe place to sleep.
Your gift could be the one that turns the tide for a family in crisis.
So team up with us. Together we can make sure no one is forgotten. Team up, give hope, change lives.
Text GIVE to 919-860-5326 or go to teamuptogive.com to donate.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We've spent a lot of time today talking about the Panthers' loss on Monday Night Football. If you want more insight directly from the coach that was calling the plays, Panther Talk, 6 o'clock right here, 99.9 The Fan. You can hear it right here. There'll be a lot of questions. I don't know if they'll all be answered by Dave Canales as far as what you want to know, but there'll be some good insight there. Panther Talk and Ishroff and the crew. That'll be at 6 o'clock right here on 99.9 The Fan. In the meantime, it's time for us to hit a little feedback frenzy. This is where we hear from all of you all across the internet, the feedback you've given our show, some of our conversations. and we bring that story to light. Here it is.
All right, so first one here comes from Austin. This comes from our YouTube live chat. This is Austin literally just moments ago. Tim's pronunciation game has been off a little bit. Come talking about the numbers game.
I agree.
Austin says your numbers game pronunciation, got to get your game up.
I completely agree. Do you know what actually it is? Because they're like some of the Canes, I even know the thing, know the pronunciation, but I get so rattled by spelling bee NFL players, just reading them and trying to be prepared that I throw myself off for other categories. It's a tough one. I mean, I'm not making excuses. I'm saying I need to get better. Need to watch the film. Maybe, you know what, Dennis, I'm not here tomorrow. I'm out of the office. Could we call this Rod Brindamore sitting Nikishin down to go? You got to recognize the numbers game. If you're not pronouncing them right, you're messing with people. You're not just going to be given the numbers game every day. You got to earn it. So you're going to have to do a better job tomorrow. I'm gonna request really difficult categories for you tomorrow to get them out of the way for when I get back next week.
All right, this one comes from actually earlier in the show. This one actually comes from Waning Rose. Waning Rose wants to know potential quarterbacks we can pick in this draft as maybe competition for Bryce Young regarding the Carolina Panthers. Also wondering as well, is there a possibility maybe the Panthers could go after a guy like a Joe Burrow?
No. Guys like Joe Burrow don't become available.
No, they don't.
You'd have to give up like your next 8 first-round picks and like more. Here's the potential quarterbacks they could go after in the draft. Depends on where you're picking. Fernando Mendoza from Indiana looks like he'll be a high pick. Maybe Ty Simpson from Alabama might be a high pick if he doesn't come back. Dante Moore from Oregon might be a high pick if he doesn't come back. But I don't know where the Panthers are drafting, and I don't know where those guys might be back in school. This is not one of the drafts where, starting 18 months ago, we knew Caleb Williams and Drake May were going to be there, and Jaden Daniels emerged as the season went along. This is one where it could be slim pickings depending on who goes pro and who doesn't.
All right, so no Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow is not available. I don't even think the Bengals would assume. They would assume it's a prank call if you called hey, Dan Morgan here. Just spitballing. Give me a price on what Joe Burrow would cost. They'd be like, what is that hedge fund that David Tepper is called? Like 80% ownership in Appaloosa.
Yeah. All right. This we had the conversation earlier about the Panthers. No, they stunk last night. Pretty simple. This one comes from Juice Man, talking about the Panthers. Like the late Dennis Green said, they are who we thought they were. Talking about the Carolina Panthers offensively.
Are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook. I do want to be clear on something, and I've been correcting people on this all day. Everyone on the Panthers did not stink. The defense played well. It's one of the crazy. It's part of the reason why football is the ultimate team sport, is the social dynamics, right? The defense played well, the offense stunk, so the team stunk. And you have to handle that in the locker room, right? And that is a whole different beast. So everything wasn't bad about last night for the Panthers. Almost everything about the offense was bad. But definitely not everything about the defense was bad. And not to mention, Tedero McMillan. Did he have a drop? Yes. Did he show you why you put up with drops? Yes, because he routed the heck out of the safety and caught the skinny post down the field for a touchdown. It wasn't all bad. Rico Dowdle averaged 6.3 yards per carry. That's great efficiency in the run game. Not enough volume, but that's a whole other conversation.
All right, so this actually comes from Jeffrey Thompson. Jeffrey says this: the Bryce Young Glee Club will say, coach is holding him back. Let him throw the ball more. Coach lets him throw more. Bryce Young Glee Club. Coach is the reason we lost. Should have fed Rico. I guess they are full circle back to blaming the coach. Is Bryce going to get more weapons next this time? Talking about the people making excuses for Bryce Young.
I did see there's some mock drafts out there with the Panthers taking another first-round wide receiver.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not outside the realm of possibilities. I don't think more and more and more and more that we move into the season, I don't know if Bryce and Dave Canales can coexist in the same trust circle. That's not to say they're both bad. That's not to say they both can't maybe thrive individually. I don't know if they can thrive together. For whatever reason, chemistry just doesn't link up, right? I think we've all had those relationships in real life. You ever had that one? A buddy's like, dude, my friend is coming into town. You guys are going to hit it. You're going to love it, right? You're both sports junkies. He played this, you played that. You're going to love it. And then you get together and it's just like, I don't like that guy, right? Sometimes it just doesn't hit. I think they might just not hit in that same way.
All right, let's actually go to the Carolina Hurricanes here real fast. Our guy Micah says, feedback frenzy. He just actually has a question for you.
Okay.
What does Mark Jankowski bring to the Canes? And the penalty kill also has been bad. So he also adds, you can't say penalty kill is the answer for Mark Jankowski.
Okay. I'll give you one of my rules, Micah. If you don't like somebody, you got to give me the replacement, right? This is like when somebody says, Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. And I go, all right, list me your 5. Right? Because it's more difficult when you're putting into the actual situation, right? You can't just in a vacuum. What does Mark Jankowski bring? All right, who are you putting in that 4th line center when Jesperi Kotkaniemi is hurt? That will bring more, right? Nobody's expecting Mark Jankowski to be, the best player on the ice. He's there because he brings versatility, brings some size, can play wing, can play center, and Jesperi Kotkaniemi's hurt. That's what it is. He can be on the penalty kill. You might not say it's going well, fine, but find me somebody that's going to go out there and it's going to be playing better. Jankowski's there because he is what he is. Like, his role is to be there when guys need him to be there, right? It's like, if you're going to tell me you're bringing Bradley Nadeau up to play those minutes, it's like, well, who's playing center? And there's an overlapping skill set there, and is he not better served by being down in the AHL? Like, there's a lot of other questions that get asked before you get to, like, what does Jankowski bring?
Micah also says you should probably have a seat in the up in the press box because of your pronunciations.
You know what, Micah? I don't disagree. Yeah. I don't disagree.
Get the Nikishin treatment.
I'm tapping my helmet. Coach, I need a breather.
Hey, it gets us all.
First of all, the name was Osa Odigizua, and it was after I said a bunch of other names. I did it well that time.
I know.
I need to get angry. Maybe that's it. I'm like
that's it.
I'm Goggles from Dodgeball. Get angry out there. And then all of a sudden, I'm the best numbers game pronunciator of all time.
All right, let's actually go with one final one here regarding the Carolina Panthers. Since, again, a lot of people are talking about Panthers games and such. Talk about how Kyle Shanahan, my apologies. Kyle Shanahan, this one comes from Strat. Strat says this. Kyle Shanahan adapts during games. Dave Canales does not adapt during games. And also that Dave Canales needs to study more.
The in-game adjustments by Dave Canales have frustrated me as much as anybody. It's not that he doesn't. We've seen him, right? Atlanta deciding they were just going to air it out was an adjustment. I don't think they went in expecting to throw for 400 yards. But it's slow, and I think he clams up when a mistake is made. When one big mistake is made, kind of shuts down, and that's an issue. I'm not disagreeing with you wholeheartedly. I'm just phrasing it a little differently. If everything's going well, I think he's a really good play caller. When things are just click, 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 it's when they need to figure it out that it goes poorly.
Well, anybody can call plays well when everything's clicking.
But then it's like he's spicing it up. He's mixing it up. They're like, it's good feel for the game when they haven't made the big blunder yet. Once the big blunder happens, it's not great. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, everybody, minutes away now, literal minutes away. Panther Talk. You'll hear from Dave Canales. Maybe he'll explain his play calling for you. I'm not here tomorrow. Enjoy the holiday, everybody. Dennis will have you in good hands. See ya.
Move your sports day forward.
The harvest of the transfer portal and recruiting has proven dividends for all of the Triangle College basketball teams. And I'm also including NC Central in that conversation. I see you, Gage Lattimore. Is it sustainable for all of them? Right now, it's easy to recover from the stumbles, but you want to make sure you don't fall flat on your face.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's Amanda here, back again with Coach Pete. Coach, I know somebody who just inherited a ton of money and they don't know what to do with it. I mean, that's a good place to be in, but they need to make sure they're calling the right advisor. And your best friend, who is not a financial advisor, is not somebody you should listen to.
You don't want somebody learning in the financial world with your portfolio.
Ooh.
I mean, we have over 100 years experience at my firm. I have 33 of them, and I've been showing folks, just like your listeners, how to make sure you're in the right place, not only now, but all the way through your life, so you never have to worry about outliving your money.